go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity. Even when you feel low, you can
hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm one of your mini hosts, Mr. William D. Morgan. As you can see down there, Gauntlet Geek One. Follow your boy on Twitter. Yes, follow your boy. Got a lot to talk about. Kyrie Irving gets traded. We got the whole Ja Morant situation. We'll talk to Seven about that Ja Morant thing. We gotta break that down. Also got the Kyrie trade. We'll get with Dan about that. And another thing that just came down the wire a couple of hours ago, wide receiver A.J. Green retires. That man is like the second leading receiver in Cincinnati Bengals history. Oh my goodness, what a hell of a career. But first, let me go ahead and bring everybody in. Best friend and El Presidente. Let me bring in Josie. Josie, what's up?
What's up?
How you doing? How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Got a lot going down. Next, let me move on to this person who has forgotten more baseball than I will ever know. Let me bring up my man, Seven. Seven, what's up?
The only reason I know more about baseball than you do is because you have yellow fever that you have yet to quench.
He ain't lying. That's why I laugh, because he ain't lying.
He knows he can't say nothing. That's all he knows. He knows it's the truth.
Yep, he knows it's just true. Check my TikTok out. You'll see a bunch of them on my TikTok. All right, y'all. A bunch of them. All right, let me bring in this person who is very significant, even more because of the events over the weekend. We're bringing the NBA leader, Dan the Duke. What's up, Dan? There you go. Found out why Mark Chandler I'm talking about. Yeah.
Seven's the world's utmost leader in Ja Morant info.
Apparently, I knew we were going to talk about it.
The reason why I want to talk to Seven about it, because Seven brought up some good points. We talked about him earlier in the year, and now that he's Dallas Maverick, and
Kyrie,
it's Kyrie. It's Kyrie, but it hurt.
Okay.
But LeBron also gets brought into the equation too. We'll talk more about that as we go into the hardwood. Matter of fact, can we go and get started with the hardwood?
Real quick, happy belated birthday, Dan.
Yes, happy belated birthday to Dan.
Thank you.
Everybody get Dan a LeBron James action figure.
I did what I do every
Fully
year.
articulated.
I watched a lot of LeBron James film, and then got a couple of Taiwanese boys with a rubber fist. That's every year.
My God.
Like it's
Everybody get in my action figure.
At
It's got
least
to be
he's consistent.
articulated. Oh, fully articulated. There you go. Or
some of it's
Funko.
going on while the LeBron highlights are going on. Maybe.
There you go.
I don't know.
There
It's
you go.
crazy.
There you go. Dan, I gotta talk to you about this because it's starting to bother me, brother. It's starting to bother me. This whole trade with Kyrie to the Lakers, people are calling
Mavericks.
people to the Mavericks. I'm sorry. People are calling Sean Marks, Joe Aside petty, but my deal with my thing with this whole deal, KD don't want to play with Russ again, particularly not this version of Russ.
Yeah, apparently that wasn't even who was on the table, though. That's the thing. And the most shocking thing to me was I had to read it over and over again that Austin Reeves, for all the white guys, Austin Reeves was the corner piece of this deal, and LA refused to deal Austin Reeves. He's a prepubescent version of Alex Caruso, is what he is. Right? That's not a good thing in the NBA. He's not any good. And I don't know why they were like, oh, we're holding on to Austin Reeves. He's a huge piece of our future. What in the fuck are you talking about? You're winning right now. You have 38-year-old LeBron. Why just get rid of everybody besides him if you have to? AD, I guess, but nobody's gonna want AD because he's never gonna play. So, but get rid of anybody. But to the Mavericks. So that's so weird. That's such a weird. It's going to be a weird match with Luka and him. Him and Luka are going to be a.
Me and Joseph were talking about it earlier. I don't want Kyrie anywhere near Luka. I really don't.
See, I think my opinion in this is I don't see Cuban and Kidd putting up with Kyrie's bullshit.
That's true.
I don't see them putting up.
Y'all do realize that Kyrie has them by the balls right now, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Y'all realize that nutty ass motherfucker has Mark Cuban by his wrinkly tanned testicles.
I honestly believe they'll put him on the bench before they put up with his bullshit.
No, you're
honestly
wrong.
Believe
you are wrong. And the reason that you are wrong comes very simply down to what they have leveraged for Kyrie. Part of what they have leveraged for Kyrie includes or is because of the fact that they hope that he stays past this year.
Yes.
And if you don't put up with Kyrie's bullshit, now I understand certain things may come into ground, like, hey, you can't say racist shit, but that's conduct thing. That's in every contract anyway.
Yep.
So if Kyrie doesn't want to, if Kyrie wants to pull a Cleveland and not talk to a single teammate in the locker room for the entire time that he's there through the rest of the season, you want to know what they can do about it? Not a goddamn thing.
Nothing.
Right. And and Kyrie's thing's never in the locker room. It's always the outside stuff. It's always the outside distractions, obviously the vaccine, and then you have the racist shit. And apparently he hates Jews. And then did you guys hear about that? Kyrie Irving hates Jews.
Yeah.
But you guys heard that? Yeah, no, he's never been a locker room guy though. The locker room is fine with him. Like they're all good with him pretty much. I mean, he's probably a douchebag. Let's be honest. I mean, so is Seven. So
right, but but that's the thing is like, and they were even talking on Undisputed this morning about the fact that Kyrie has been a problem in the locker room. When you look at what he did in Cleveland before he left, the fact that he didn't talk to anybody, that's what I was just referencing. That's a problem. That what he pulled, he gets to Boston, because he wants to be the leader and lead a team to a championship, and then can't lead. That's not something that's just on the floor. That's in the locker room.
Yep.
And then the entire Nets thing, a lot of the breakdown, they paid KD and Kyrie played a total of 74 games together in 4 years because of the fact that Kyrie was misbehaving, not giving the Nets a heads up when he was stepping away, and all of these different things that they've had. It may not just be a locker room. The locker room may not be the biggest problem, but he has been a problem in the locker room in the past.
This is what I don't get. You let Jalen Brunson walk because you don't want to give him 20 million a year. But you get Kyrie and the signing back, he's going to want 50.
On the floor, though, I don't even compare. Like,
I know Kyrie's better, don't get me wrong, but at the same point, from a team cost spending wise.
Well, because when Kyrie's on, you're getting $50 million worth. But if Kyrie's not going to be there, and Dan and I have talked about this, Kyrie does not hold basketball in the same level of importance that basketball places Kyrie Irving.
Nope.
And the sooner that basketball accepts that, the sooner it will be easier to deal with Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and he kind of got thrown that thing, Tony. Like he got thrown the basketball talent, and I think it was just like, oh well, obviously you're going to do that because why wouldn't you play in the NBA if you could, right? And I don't think he wanted to the entire time. He just went with it because he was so good at basketball, and he got better at basketball because he was really good at it in the first place. And I think that kind of, that, like we've talked about, like I don't think that that's what he wanted to do, but that's a lot of guys. Like his is like over the top because he is a superstar, right? So like he obviously more in the spotlight, but he has more complex issues, I guess. I feel like Luka's probably just get along. Like Luka probably gets along with everybody, right? You can see that, like, right? I mean, he's young.
But he's young. He's young too, so he's gonna be a little bit more friendly than a grizzled veteran who could put up with your bullshit.
Well, do you think that Kyrie is like the? Yes. Kyrie's like the guy that smokes weed in his attic with all the Run DMC posters and shit.
Yep.
And then Luka is the guy who drinks beers in his kitchen.
I know where you're going. Yep.
So like they're just like two completely polar opposite individuals, and like they're probably not going to hang out, but like that's actually probably better for like the team dynamic, though. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll be all right, honestly. Like it's going to be all right for a second until Kyrie does something fucking nuts. I think he's systematically done it.
Here's my question. If, say, he doesn't do anything nuts, is this a championship team this year?
No defense.
Finals ceiling.
Defense. No defense.
Finals ceiling, up top ceiling.
No defense.
If they get to the finals, I'd be very, very surprised.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do when Luka pounded down low? What are they gonna do with Joel Embiid? What are they gonna do with Greer Freak? No defense.
Right. They have some bodies they can throw. Powell is a really good defensive center. He never, he's just he's a D and oop guy. Really good athlete. Dwight Powell. Yeah. So, I mean, they have pieces that they can throw, but they had to surround the rest of the team with defense basically, which takes away from obviously, the offensive side because now you just have Luka who's running the show.
Yep.
And that's what they needed was that other guy. I mean, they had Spencer Dinwiddie. He's not going to take over any games. So it's just Luka carrying the whole thing kind of. Did you see the meme where Kevin Durant's like, wait, Spencer Dinwiddie for Kyrie Irving? And he's like, but we got Spencer Dinwiddie back. And it's like the math equations are all around his head. Like he's like,
but I want to tackle this from the other side because now I think this trade makes the Nets better because you finally got a defensive wing that you needed for a long time. Say what you want about Spencer, but you had him before. He was with him for like 5 years and played well. So then Durant ain't got no excuse. Durant ain't got no excuse at this point. He's the man.
Right.
He's the bus driver.
He's got no one else.
That's a really good point.
It's going to be him, Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finley. That's it.
Well, I totally get what you're saying. He does have other people. Like that roster's still not terrible.
No, it's not terrible at all. It's just role
it's
players
the team
now.
dynamic that you're talking about. Like basically, they gave Kevin Durant the keys, which he should have already fucking had the keys for one. Why is that not happening? He should have already had the fucking keys, but Kyrie likes to steal cars apparently. But like that's really what I mean. It's like he should have already had them, and then if you just eliminate that from even being a fucking possibility, because Spencer Dinwiddie, obvious number 2, okay, obvious. Like there's no like KD is the guy, and you're right that he doesn't have any excuses because they are surrounding him with shooters and defense.
Yep.
And what was the last shooters defense team that Kevin Durant was on that was pretty good? Oh yeah, the fucking
Golden State Warriors
that went back to back. That's exactly how they were built.
Yes.
And Sean Marks might be this is a good move because like he's just trying to figure it out. He's like, oh, we can't just load every superstar in the NBA on one fucking team and hope it like works out. Like, doesn't happen that way. Like you can't just pay your weight. Like we talked about with baseball.
Go back in history and look at that Lakers team that did it. They failed too.
Oh God, the Gary Payton, Karl Malone. It was Gary Payton, Karl Malone, obviously Shaq, Kobe, and then fucking who's the fifth one? Steve Nash. Was it Steve Nash?
I think it might have been Nash. Dwight Howard. Yeah.
Dwight Howard, yeah. The starting five is ridiculous. They just all hated each other. They just like went in there. Probably had private locker rooms. They all had private locker rooms, just like one locker in it. And they would just like go in there and all the media would just follow, the certain guys and their stylists and things. No, but yeah, back on topic. It is a good deal for the Nets, and but the Nets ceiling is fucking literally the Eastern Conference Finals still.
Yeah. But let me ask you this: do you think let me ask all of you this: if Kevin Durant manages that on that team, and they get to the finals and fail, do you think that good year for Kevin, or is it championship or bust?
I thought you were going to say, does that put him in the GOAT conversation?
No. Hell no.
I was like, don't even go there.
Hell no.
Too inconsistent.
He's got to lead what? He got to win a championship, another MVP before we can even talk about that.
He's got to win a championship on his own.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Championships he's had.
Yeah.
Curry.
Yeah.
There was multiple people on that Golden State team that helped him win those championships.
Y'all know what though?
For me,
I'll take that championship that Dirk won over the 2 Kevin Durant won.
2.
Mm-hmm.
That's craziness, but that actually is a thing. That's a real people give Dirk more clout for that fucking 2011 title.
Dirk did the damn thing, and I'm not a Dirk fan. I'm not a Mavericks fan, but he did the damn thing with. The same thing that I can't.
I won't stand for the words "I'm not a Dirk fan" to ever be.
That Joker came out. That Joker came out.
That's surely because he played for the Mavs. I don't like the Mavs.
That Joker came out. That Joker won by old man Jason Terry and JJ Barea.
Here it comes, Dan. As you brought up this week,
Josh Howard,
Houston,
Eric Dampier. What about Houston? Let's do it. I'm just gonna start diving right into it. Like I'm not even gonna fight it anymore. Let's talk about the fucking Rockets.
That's why I don't like Dirk and I don't like the Dallas.
Let's talk about Jalen Green and Usman Garuba.
But I'll say this. But I'll say this. Let's see what's up, Ando. We'll see we'll see definitely what's going down. See how Dallas works this, because right now with Steph Curry being out, I don't buy Denver as much as I love Jokic. I don't buy Denver as being this big offensive juggernaut. That West is wide open, y'all. It's wide open.
You guys at least agree that like I'm rooting for Kyrie and Luka to like actually, because it's such a yin and yang type of deal, because they seem like they're 2 completely different dudes. And if they had good court chemistry, I think it'd be very interesting because that would just prove to us that it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like it's if you're there on the court and you have good court chemistry, it doesn't matter like who you are as people or anything. Because Steve Nash, one of the weirdest Canadian guys of all time, ran the fucking dude. Seriously, one of the weirdest guys ever. Like he plays more soccer than he plays basketball apparently in the offseason, which is fucking ridiculous.
Hey, he
Like,
shouldn't have won the second MVP though. He should have won the second MVP. I ain't gonna say that a lot. He shouldn't have won it. But
Mike D'Antoni.
I just want to that West is wide open, fellas, and I just want to see, and I just want to see who I just want to see who's going to come out on top. Real thing, I'm rolling back to the NBA real quick. The whole situation.
We need to cover probably one more thing with the NBA.
The whole situation with Ja Morant. What you think?
What's the situation with Ja Morant?
Well, he got into a little fisticuffs and stuff is being said about him going out, him and the Grizzlies going out, talking about the Pacers, talking about look what we got, gangster related stuff.
Oh yeah, we kind of touched on this last week. Their attitude's like super over the top for how not good they are. Like they haven't done anything, and because they have Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane, who look like a tag team in the WWE. If you haven't seen those two dudes, they would be a great fucking tag team, dude. For real, they are fucking just jacked, both of them. And they're just defending wings who shoot threes, and they're studs. And then obviously you have Ja Morant, who literally can fly. I think he can just fly at this point. He can
fly his way out of a career.
Yeah, he can.
No, because there's allegations that there was guns pulled at this thing after with the Indiana Pacers, and his brother's not allowed to go to Grizzlies games for a full year.
He refers to him as his brother, but it's actually his friend.
I guess when
he got banned for a whole year from Grizzly games. That's messed up, man.
It's for first of all, for the ban of his brother to come down, that shows you significantly how fucked this situation was.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the fact that there are allegations that Ja was in the car that his brother came out of, and that they were allegedly pointing guns at them with, or from.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
How is Ja? First of all, how is Ja not already suspended? If they've decided enough that he's not allowed at Grizzlies games a year, something isn't right. But the second thing is I'm gonna echo something.
Grizzlies trying to control the information and keep him on the court.
The thing of it is I if you didn't get a chance to watch Undisputed this morning, they talked extensively about it, and Shannon Sharp kind of popped off on this for a couple of minutes. And I really appreciated what he said, because he talked about, basically when you leave the hood, you got to leave the hood. And Ja is sitting on a $200 million contract. And if he doesn't stop this gangster shit, he's going to piss it all away. You can't tell me Nike's not. Exactly. That was the other thing they brought up, his shoe deal. You can't tell me Nike's not second guessing that right now. Every sponsor he has.
They dropped Kyrie, and they dropped Kyrie because of comments.
They dropped Kyrie because of a tweet that didn't have any context whatsoever.
Yep.
And so as Ja Morant, this is one of those individuals, and Dan and I have talked about this on After Dark multiple times. Sometimes when athletes come up, they have people that surround them that just tell them everything they want to hear, and this is going to be fine. You're the best. They can't touch you. You get to do what you want, and blow smoke up this person's ass because they want to keep them where they're at. This is exactly what is coming out of Ja Morant right now, is people that are around Ja Morant not holding him accountable for his behavior. Bro, you are out of the hood. I got out of bad neighborhoods myself. You are out of it. Stay out of it. Don't go back to that dumb shit, because you're pissing away more than $200 million.
And there's multiple. You look at multiple people who have almost ruined careers. Ray Lewis being one of them.
They mentioned him this morning because Shannon was a mentor to Ray
Lewis. Don't forget Antoine Walker almost messed up.
Aaron Hernandez would be talked about as one of the greatest tight ends to play the game, right up there with Gronk, had he not shit on every. I only say that because Gronk says
Top
that.
five.
I say that.
Top
I say
five.
He
that.
was on pace.
He was on pace for it. He was on pace for it, particularly in
Had
that
he
offense
not
at the time.
destroyed his entire reputation, and now the NFL and no one really who talks about the NFL will mention his name. And
Here's one for you, Will. Ray
Hmm?
Caruth.
Oh yes, yes.
Javon Belcher. Look at
And
right
I
now.
mean,
Yep.
it's
No
not
one really
just
backfired on him.
it's not just in the sports side. It's all over. Like these guys want so bad to get out of this bad place that they were in, and then when they had the chance, instead of taking that chance, they pour more back into it. Whether it be having guns on them at all times or trying to make their little posse a gang.
It's not even about that. It's that old habits die hard. When you come out of a situation like that, and here's the reason why it's hard to come out of a situation like that. And I get, because I'm white and I'm coming out of that stuff, I probably had more advantages than other people do. I get that. But here is the ultimate truth. Regardless of what race, gender, nationality, whatever you want to, whatever identities you have when you come out of that situation, it takes every ounce of fucking willpower you have to not turn back around to what you know. Because what's in front of you is super fucking scary. And right now, Ja Morant is pissing that away because what's behind him is more comfortable. What's in front of you is a 15-plus year career with the immense fucking talent you have.
Yep.
Don't piss it away. Generational
wealth.
Right.
It don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense.
Yeah. He seems like one of those guys who it's almost kind of an admirable thing. It's dumb, but it's kind of admirable that he has funding now to do the things that he was doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he has like legitimate funding, and he's like kind of sticking to who he is and who he grew up as being. It's almost admirable, but it's idiotic at the same time. Does that make sense? Like right. I can appreciate it, but I'm like, dude, but come on, man. Like, and he's a young kid. He's like 23, dude.
23 years
old.
What
were you? I was a fucking chimpanzee when I was 23, dude, for real. Like certifiably.
Yeah, we all do dumb shit when we're that age.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I want to say
I didn't have $200 million either.
Exactly.
He's not a rapper, but even in that genre anymore, it's not as popular as it used to be. We're not in the early 2000s in the era of gangster rap. Like even those guys don't flaunt it like they used to.
I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked his father hasn't said anything to him. That's the thing that's killing me. Your daddy is at every game, and you hadn't pulled him aside to tell him he needs to stop this BS.
You kind of hit on that though. He's 23, making a shit ton of money.
Still gotta say something though.
But he might have. What I'm saying is he could probably talk him to the face until he's blue. He may just at 23 making that kind of money. You're not going to listen. You're not going to listen.
Possible.
His dad was his high school coach too, so it's kind of been that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's maybe we don't know what they did to prepare him for playing in the NBA either. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have been like strenuous, and this is the first chance he's getting to like be a fucking young kid. You know what I'm saying? Like like he has all this money now. He's kind of solidified in Memphis. Like it's like he's almost getting comfortable to the point like where he's almost in college at this point. Does that make sense? But he has like $200 million. And now he's just like getting his experiences out because he played so much fucking basketball to get to that point. And now it's like, oh, I just, now I'm kind of comfortable. Like now I can do the things that I want. It's just reverting back to that because he's never been faced with it, I guess. Right. I mean, really. So
it's crazy. It's just crazy.
There was one more thing, Will, that we should probably cover in the NBA part.
Sure.
There's a dude, he plays for the Lakers.
I was gonna say,
where's number 6?
When's he gonna hit it?
He's gonna do it tomorrow night. I'm having a watch party at my house.
You were right, Dan.
He's gonna have a watch party.
Yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow night. He's 36 points away, and they're gonna let him shoot.
How much you gonna charge? You gonna charge anything for the watch party?
It's only gonna be me, so I'll be fine.
He looked so sad. He looked so sad last night after that loss. He looked so
more
sad.
Snacks. Not last night. They didn't play. They didn't play last night.
Saturday
night.
Yeah, not before. Yeah.
But he's got 2 days. He's got Sunday and Monday off. He plays tomorrow night. He's and who are they playing tomorrow night, Dan?
And he's just not playing.
No, he has 2 nights off.
It's the Thunder in.
Oh yeah, he's
fucking
dropping
LA.
45.
Yeah, that's
45 to
So
50.
they're gonna let him
That-
shoot.
That might be a 50
Yeah.
burger right there.
They're gonna let that motherfucker shoot until he gets it, and he's gonna get it at home because then he goes to Milwaukee is the next game. So he's either gonna get it at home against the Thunder in Crypto.com Arena, the Crypt or Staples Center, or he's gonna go to fucking Giannis's house in Milwaukee where the crowd just is not gonna give a shit. They're gonna do it tomorrow night. Like they're gonna do it tomorrow night. They're just gonna like. Yeah,
Does he hit Kobe numbers tomorrow night? Just double up on it. Hit Kobe
he doesn't have
last
to.
game numbers. I know
he doesn't have to. He's way better than Kobe was at that age. Fucking way better. He's good. He's still an efficient top 5 player in this league at 38 years old, guys. Let's just stop. If you just breathe it in. You want to breathe?
No, we've said
just
it
stop for a
times.
second.
Mm-mm.
You guys are so busy fucking hating this dude that you don't ever stop and go,
Hey,
holy shit, he's pretty
you
fucking
say
good though.
You guys, there's only like one here that really hates on him.
I'm looking at the 2 top guys right now. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
He's
Will,
guys
of
is
course.
gender neutral in this scenario.
Will is yeah. Hey, did you know? Yeah, Chat GPT will tell you not to use I use Hey Guys for everything. Like Hey Guys, even if it's females and males, and
No,
Chat
guys
GPT
is
will
fine.
tell you to stop. Yeah, they'll tell you. Chat GPT says use everyone or y'all.
There's some countries.
That's biased, right?
Some people would take it. I don't even see man as that big of a deal. Like that's pretty gender neutral. I have girlfriends. that I
Southwest,
call.
yeah.
The important thing is that you know that we appreciate you and we, you know what I'm saying, we would
Y'all
be
respect
respectful
me.
if we weren't just I'm just word
I wouldn't go
diarrheaing
that
a lot,
far.
so I don't really know.
Y'all respect me, but not really. Y'all respect my gender. Let me say that.
What's a step under
this
respect? Is
respect
there
Y'all may not respect
there like
me as a person, but you respect my
admiration?
gender.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
man, we'll see.
Yeah,
for
but he
Brian.
get
He getting it
36.
tomorrow. That's gonna be a 50
30
burger tomorrow. I hope
No.
y'all know.
But what my point was is I don't hate on LeBron. I respect the fuck out of the man.
That's gonna be a 50 burger tomorrow.
And I've told you on multiple occasions, the top 3 for me, or the top 2 for me, it's a tough conversation just because I see both sides of it. But I think if he breaks this record, that argument really wins.
gets interesting at least.
Not me. Not
It's
me.
real interesting. It's been real interesting for me for a long time, but
Not me.
I think for everyone besides Will, it gets at least a little more interesting.
For everyone
and
besides Will and people Will's age. Like we
And Will,
talked
here's-
about the other day.
It's not just
Dan.
my age because it's not
No.
just my age because my youngest son thinks Michael Jordan's the GOAT and he's 13.
But
there's
he don't-
yeah,
So,
Have you ever heard a
he's
13-year-old say
he's
something smart though?
13.
Like what is a 13-year-old
He's
speaking and you're just
13.
like,
And how
wow,
much
that's
of a
life changing.
He's 13, and how much of a real basketball fan is he, Will?
He's a real basketball fan. Trust me.
I
It's-
bet
it's
his
him
list goes.
It's him and Steph Curry. That's
Right.
his MJ and Steph Curry. That's his favorite too.
He got
His
My
his
son
13.
goes
So
down.
his,
My
so
son
his
is
list goes
he-
MJ, Steph Curry, and then Paulo Banchero, and then Franz Wagner are the top. This is top 5 of all time. Jaden Ivey, Jalen Green is in there. Jalen Green's in the top 10 for sure.
You do Jelly Green like that.
Kevin
Jalen Green's in
Porter
the top
Jr.
10. Kevin Porter Jr. Usman Garuba. Usman Garuba is the first. He's got to be in the top 20, bro.
Tyler
He's in the
Hero's
top
right
10.
up in the top 10.
Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero's ancient, man. Tyler Hero's ancient.
He ancient, but at least I give Hero his, he got some dog in him though.
We're saying this from the perspective of your 13-year-old son.
He's got
So- So Tyler Hero is ancient to him.
Hey, real life.
He is.
But real talk, Hero used to have some dog in him. I don't know what happened.
What the fuck? He got us money. He pulled a Dan. He pulled a Dan. He was like,
He
"Oh,
got
I'm,
that money,
I'm
there we
super
go."
committed."
Same
And they were
thing
like,
that,
"Here's $90 million." And he was like, "Just kidding."
same thing
Just
that happened to AD. He got his money and that
Oh.
dog went away.
Just kidding. He said, "I'm gonna be. I am
remember Hero.
devoted.
Y'all remember that season when Miami went to the finals before he got hurt? Hero was he was playing.
beast."
Yeah, he was
Beast.
Yeah.
He did. He averaged like 20 off the bench, I think.
Yep.
He was
And then
he was
got
one of
his
the
money.
first players to average 20 off the bench. Yeah.
And then he
I
got
had
his
a
money.
thought
And that
about
was it.
And he was like,
I had a
"Nope."
thought about AD to wrap this up.
It's a
Maybe
lot of work.
if AD wouldn't have tried to keep all of that money they were overpaying him in his wallet, he wouldn't have gotten injured so often. Like that strains the body. man.
That,
Like
that
put it in your
big
bank
fat
account.
water money in your back pocket causes issues with your balance.
It
just
don't matter
checks.
because AD getting hurt is as assured as death and taxes, guys. I've said this
There
a
you
thousand
go.
times.
There you
AD
go,
getting
man.
hurt is assured as death and taxes.
But the kicker
That's
is he's
basketball
not really
reports
hurt.
from the red light room.
But the thing that kill,
Yeah, yes.
but the thing that kill me with AD when he's healthy.
Are you in Amsterdam?
But the thing that kills me with, but the thing that kills me with AD, man, when he's on, he's one of the best when he's on. He's
But
one
the
of the
best
best when he's on.
availability. So what are you gonna do?
But he's
gonna
always
do?
hurt. Yeah, always.
Well, I
hurt.
guess it is. It kind of rings
say-
true with LeBron,
especially
and
the KD and Kyrie thing. Like
Yep.
4 years in Golden State, 74 total games.
Dude, I was going to say this
That's
earlier when you said
insane.
that. It was 12 or 11 or 12 games with all three of them. So Harden, Irving, and Durant on the floor at the same time. 11 games in like three. It was like 3+ seasons or 2+
And they
seasons.
only won. And they
Dan,
only
I
won.
watched the
and
video from the Broadway.
One playoff game.
one
from the
playoff
Broadway
game.
Boys
Mhm.
today, and then it talked about how the greatest, what it could have been one of the greatest offensive trios in basketball, literally
Ever.
never even saw the light of day because
And when they did, it looked weird. I watched the first
Yeah,
game when they were.
yeah.
I watched the very first game, and I was like, "This isn't going to work." I can tell
blame
already.
that.
They're-
You know what though? I think we
Yeah,
can blame. I think we can blame at least half of that on Nash, because I don't
A
think
lot
Nash,
of it.
I don't think Nash knew what the hell he was doing.
I agree with that. I mean, you put
They
a guy who, like you said, shouldn't even have 2 MVPs, had no coaching experience
Mm-mm.
in charge of.
Tony said that off the bat, by the way. Tony, you said that off the bat. You
He
were like,
did.
Steve
He
Nash.
did.
He right off the bat, just in his credit, like he said it right off the bat. He's like, Steve Nash, fuck that. And I was like, you know what? I think Steve Nash might actually be good. And I was totally wrong. And yeah, Tony said it from the beginning though, because no coaching experience. He's an ex-player, but like he doesn't have as much respect as a 2-time MVP should have with the players.
Right.
I'll tell you that much.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
definitely
It's
not.
not. It's
He
not
was
like
in
when Larry
over his
Bird was a
head.
coach of Indiana.
Yeah.
It's not like when
Right.
Larry Bird was a coach of Indiana at all.
Well, and also, and I think the thing, and for me, right from the beginning, when you have Kyrie saying we don't need no stinking coach, after you choose,
Red flag.
that like
Huge red flag.
they
Red
should have
flag.
been walking back from right there, because I firmly believe if they had better coaching in place, we might not have had the issues we had out of Kyrie, because somebody would have taken control of that fucking locker room. You would have
Mhm.
gotten more out of it. Like, this is living proof that locker room chemistry can have an impact on your results.
And that's why
And-
I think, and that's why I agree with Josie when Josie says Kid and Cuban ain't gonna take that bullshit. I don't think they would, particularly Kid, because Kid's been there. Kid's done that, and nah, he ain't gonna put up with that. Mm-mm.
I just figured Kid might pretend that he's his wife and slap him to get the. Everybody forgets about that with a few Dallas wins, don't they?
Oh,
Kid,
Real quick.
Kid was hitting threes in 2011, and he was going home and like meatloaf and just backhanding his wife.
So,
So everybody knows.
real quick, Dan, before we get off of hardwood,
Giannis?
Giannis is the first guest. So, Will, you haven't been here, but I started this
Mhm.
with Dan on Wednesday, and we did it on After Dark the other day
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
I just, it's just been a fun little between segment thing. See how many guesses
fun.
it takes, Dan, to guess the total player of the day.
GIA.
Yeah. Even though on Thursday, Dan 7 is the one that got it.
Because Stacks
He
was
cheated,
saying
he cheated
it.
though. He cheated everywhere. No, I'm just kidding.
That was really Stacks. that got it.
DIN.
GIA.
GIA. Yep. There
There
you
it
go.
is.
ANTETOKO. Okay, nothing at all. Well,
Damn.
okay, so
He's
so
over
what are the yellows?
7 foot and he's over 28.
Damn.
Okay.
Should I sell it with? Should
Robin Lopez. No. Hey, no, that's not right. That's not right. Because he's
Will, you
Robin
got a
Lopez
guess?
is on the Bucks. Go ahead, Will.
I'll pop up the silhouette again. There you go.
Yeah, please give it to me. Yeah.
Damn. He's on the Bucks.
No, he's
Not
not
on
on
the
the Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Over
Not
20%.
even in that conference or division.
Wow.
Yeah, see,
and he's over 7
Yes,
foot.
Tony.
Blake Griffin.
I'm
Oh,
about to
that's a
say
good
that.
one. That kind
I
of
was
looks
about,
like his.
I was about to say that. That look like
Blake,
that kinda
Blake
look
Griffin's
like
not
him.
7 foot.
Nope.
Blake Griffin's not 7 foot.
Nothing.
No, okay, so
He
it's still,
is between 32 and 28.
Okay. I was gonna say Brooke Lopez. It's either Brooke or Robin Lopez. Okay, so one of the Lopez brothers are both over 7 foot. They're both in that age range because they're twins. I think they're like 32. Let's go Brooke first. But I knew he played for the.
He's a center.
See, I
He's
knew-
7 foot.
He's 7'1".
7'1".
It's not Joel Embiid.
It ain't Rudy Gobert.
Gobert
Are
is
those actual guesses or
Wait,
not?
Joel Embiid.
Is it-
Joel Embiid.
It's got to be Joel.
Joel Embiid.
It's got to be. It can't be.
No. It's not. Don't do that. Sorry,
Wait,
somebody else guess because he's not.
how
He's
tall
not
is
28
DA?
to 30, 33. Who? Yeah, Aiden's not 30. Aiden's not 28 to 33. That's what we have to look at most. So they have to be an older guy. They got to be a
28
veteran. They
to
have been around for a while.
32.
28 to 32. Over 7'1". That's
He
that's
is
Robin and Brooke.
7'1".
Robin
and
or
Robin
Brooke
Lopez. Yeah, but I don't think it is. But
yeah, we can try Robin.
Yeah. See what we get out of that.
Nope.
Nothing else.
But it's a center.
7'1".
It's
7'1" center between the ages of 32 and 28.
and his
And
number.
really, I think since it's yellow like that, I think he's going to be 30. I think the age is 30.
30. Jesus fuck. Okay, so I was gonna say Miles Turner, but that's not right because he's too young. A lot of these guys are way younger, so you got to think of the older guys. There's
And
not that many of them.
Guessing the Eastern Central, and he's not in the East at all.
He's in the
Nikola
West.
Vucevic.
I don't think Vucevic is over 7 foot.
I think it was 7'1".
Nurkic. We got to guess from the
Yusuf Nurkic. Yusuf Nurkic, but he'd be in the East. Well, no, he wouldn't be. No, he wouldn't be. He plays for Portland.
So Nurkic, yeah.
Spell it.
Why?
It's JUSUF. There you go.
Oh, Northwest Center.
Okay,
Number
so
27.
he's number 27 too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still, it's 28. Let me see. What does it say about the age?
Right? Like,
See,
I thought it might have been Rudy, but
yeah, it's within 2 years. So he is either 29 or 30.
so, dude, is it Rudy Gobert, bro? Dude, how many guesses do we have
that's what
left?
I was saying was
You have
Rudy.
you have 2 guesses left.
So let's
I'll
do
go-
Rudy.
I'll say
Go Rudy
Rudy.
Gobert. He is in the West now.
And he's
There
on
it
7
is.
foot, baby.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you called that on like the 4th step.
I think earlier
You know-
than that, I think that was like second or third. Will called that.
You know what got me? The silhouette got me because
Yeah,
I
me
actually
too.
take a lot of
Yeah.
account into it. And he's usually bald. He has hair now apparently, which is
Yeah.
it totally got me. Like I was like, hey, he doesn't have hair.
And he's still playing
was
like
the-
trash. But anyway, that's a show for another day.
Have you seen how gigantic Rudy Gobert?
That's a
the
big
last
dude.
in the NBA?
That's
looks
a big
on
dude.
the- yeah.
Appreciate you, buddy.
That's a big dude. He's not as big as Shaq. Nowhere near, but that's still a big dude.
Lane got that one.
He's longer.
Yeah.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy. That was a weird thing too, because like, why would he go to Minnesota and why are the 2 centers basically? But apparently they were gonna get rid of Karl Anthony Towns, but
Hey man, you better not.
he's got. They're going to.
They better
Yes.
not.
He's softer than Sharman, bro.
I agree with you. But
He's
just
super.
for
He
the,
plays a
but
good guard.
just for the offensive talent, from a big man's perspective, from the offensive side, defense, he's soft as hell. You right
Rudy
about
Gobert literally made like the middle school girl living in the NBA. You know what I mean by that?
that.
Where the biggest middle school girl just dominates. It just gets like offensive rebound after offensive rebound. And just stands there
Oh
because
my
she's like
gosh.
6 inches taller than everybody else. That's what Rudy Gobert did for an NBA career. He just like ran down the middle of the floor, looking like Yao Ming and shit.
But you
Just
better,
getting
but you
rebounds,
better
blocking
keep,
shots.
but you better keep both Wiggins and Towns together.
Well, Wiggins is in Golden State.
I mean, what you call it? Anthony Edwards. I'm sorry.
Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna.
All right.
I don't think they like each other.
We've seen that before in Minnesota with Jimmy Butler. So we've seen that before.
They hate him.
Yeah, we've seen that before for sure.
Everybody hates each other in Minnesota. It's a terrible state.
I agree.
Land of 10,000 lakes, more like land of 10,000 dicks.
It's also it is always cold. Always. Oh my god.
That's why they're so mad and pieces of shit. That's terrible. No, that's why they're always so mad. Why
we need some heat,
like living in Russia.
We need some heat.
Living in Russia. It smells like soup and sadness.
All right, let's head over to Josie segment real quick, and we'll talk about Fight Night. We got a lot to talk about over in Fight Night. Go ahead.
It's only worth it if you run for it. I won't stop till they hit me down. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Oh, the big news coming out right now is Cody Rhodes named his is facing Roman Reigns, and Will's all excited because mommy picked Charlotte Flair for her challenge, and I mean
Charlotte's ass.
I mean, I don't see it going any other way, honestly. Rhea is so over. Even right now, playing the heel, she is so over. News really I want to talk about though is, and we're going to be talking a lot about Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn tomorrow night. So make sure you turn into that. Like, we're going to really dive into this and what this could mean for Mania season, because I'm seeing a Cody Rhodes could be getting a Dave Bautista type welcome for WrestleMania and get booed out of the building, because
Drax?
Sami Zayn is so white hot over right now, and I get it. I do. I understand even more than D-Bry was. Sammy's not face of the company material.
No.
Maybe hold that title, yes, but I don't see him going into Mania holding that title.
He doesn't
not
fit
Josie,
Vince.
not Josie face of the company material.
He doesn't fit Vince's scheme for face of the company.
Take Vince out of it.
He doesn't.
At the moment, Vince, as far as we know, creative-wise, is not in charge of it. You got to take Vince out of it. It's not even that.
But all the big decisions go right through that chode. You know they still do.
But
right through that fatty.
Okay, I don't think he even fits Triple H's description of a face.
Yeah, I don't even know. And Triple H is going to be more willing. And I'm not saying it might not happen, but I don't see it happening in Elimination Chamber. Now, I do want to see how they're going to get out of this, because I do see if they don't put it on him, it being a huge problem for Cody and Roman going into Mania.
Yep, unless you split the title.
And Cody had another one today, and he said those titles, kept referring it to the Undisputed. And I thought they were going to split them. That, to me, makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Split them, put one on Sammy on Raw, and then let Cody and Roman go for the SmackDown title, because that's the one Cody always says he wanted. So, but we're going to really dive in deep to that tomorrow night. Also, tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about AEW announced that they're starting, I think, at the end of February, they're going to be starting house shows. Also, it's been announced that AEW, I said this was going to be the first year they hit black. I was wrong. Did you see this, Will? $100 million they made last year.
Damn.
$100 million.
Damn.
So
pretty good little profit line.
That's a pretty good little profit line, and it puts in right what I said. All these people who say AEW is not going to make it 5 years, and still to this day, I read comments on that shit. Y'all stupid. Like, they're not going anywhere. If TNA can survive only pulling in 160,000 views each week, AEW, at the number 2 wrestling company in the world, is not going anywhere. And you can have their issues. I'm not a fan of everything they do, but house shows, money, and they did something smart with this too. Well, we've been saying for months why the hell they bring in Jeff Jarrett. We now know Jeff Jarrett was brought in to run these house shows, and I'm sorry, that's one of the best guys you can get to bring in.
Backstage,
For backstage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of what he's been doing on camera, but for backstage for a
perfect.
guy who knows how to run shows like this, because that's what Impact and TNA did for years, basically. Even though they were televised, a lot of their big stuff was their house shows. And it's going to be a huge opportunity for a lot of these. It's going to be more of a developmental for a lot of these younger talents. You're going to see some matchup. The thing that's great about house shows is you'll see mashups that you'll never see anywhere else.
You can make an argument it's going to be the new OVW.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Argument. It could definitely turn into AEW's NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely could be their version of an NXT, as Dark and Dark Elevation are. I think this is a great move. I'm excited for it. We're going to dive more into that tomorrow.
Plus, I was going to dive into the fact, and you probably saw this earlier. It looks to be there's some rumors out there about what's going to be the next Hall of Fame show for WWE. So we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, they haven't announced anybody yet. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised that leak came out, because it's a leak that came out. It's a leak on Facebook. I have to try to find it again, but it was a leak on Facebook. I saw in a Facebook group. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. You'd be kind of shocked whose name's on that too.
Who was it?
I gotta find it. I'll find it and send it to you.
But yeah, we're gonna dive more into that, and then be gearing up for Elimination Chamber, which is that this weekend? I think that next weekend. Next weekend. So,
all right. Can I get my question, Josie? Or
oh yeah. I don't have a lot today, so please, if you have a question, go for it, Dan.
I had a statement and a question. Until about 3 minutes ago, I thought AEW was the station on TV that all those detective shows were on. And then they made $100 million last year underneath mine, right there. I didn't even see them. No, but do you think it would be interesting for like a segment every once in a while? This is a show-related question and WWE related. To analyze other sports like we analyze professional wrestling, as far as like it's all storyline and the outcomes are decided. Do you think that would be an interesting way to approach a sports talk? Just a small segment where you just go, hey, this subject, but we're going to talk about it like everybody is playing a part and it's written before it happens.
And the way that the NFL has come out this year, it'd be very easy.
That's what I'm saying. Easy. It always happens like that. It always something always happens like that where it looks like it.
You talk about it all the time, Dan, and how Adam Silver is trying to take the dramatic part of WWE and bring it into the not the game itself, but the outside of the game.
He's going to make a silver hybrid, is what I like to call it. I call it the silver hybrid now. It's named. It's just a perfect fusion of the entertainment of professional wrestling with the actual outcome of professional sports, the randomness, and the guessing game, the undecided.
The showmanship with the
it's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. The showmanship with the unpredictability. Yeah. I got you.
Hasn't that already happened, Will? Isn't okay. Never mind. I was like, Dave Bautista's already in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. He's already in. Yeah.
Okay, so the list real quick. I am gonna bring this up real quick, Will. Number one, I'm 100% okay with, and should have happened a long time ago, and that's Umaga.
Hell yeah.
Umaga should have been in a long time ago. But if Umaga gets inducted,
is this the Hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Umaga gets inducted, I want Armando Alejandro
Estrada.
To induct.
Yes. He's got to be
Saturn
in. That's his manager. He got to be in there.
Saturn will never make it in, unfortunately. Not for his thing is in the ring. It's because he's too weird outside.
I was going to say he looked like a BDSM.
Rumor is he slept with Stephanie. That's the rumor.
Really?
Number two,
and Vince probably.
Number 2 is the female. Another 100% should already be in. Michelle.
Hell
McCool.
Yeah. They're late on McCool. They're really late on her.
They're really late on McCool. She should have been in a long time ago. Not just for what she did in women's wrestling, but also what she did for Taker.
I would have put her in before I put Ivory in. That's just me, though.
Number 3, I think needs to happen this year because they're pretty much done, and
it's a real good tribute to Beautiful Bobby too.
Yeah, Midnight Express needs to happen. Also, I got another one. Rock and Roll Express should be going in too.
You thinking that? Well, it's for wrestling. It's for wrestling in general, right?
Wrestling in general. I'm not saying their WWE career.
Okay. Just wrestling. Okay.
In general, Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, in general, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Rikishi is in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yes, a couple of years ago.
Okay. He's in the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago.
He was their mid-card. Every year, it works very similar. Every year, you got 2 really big stars to get in. A female gets in, a mid-carder gets in, and a celebrity.
This next person, I got a problem. This next person, James, I got a problem. I got a problem with that.
This next one, again, I'm not a fan of his wrestling career, but what he's done after could kind of be talked about.
But I'm not trying to disrespect Lex, because I understand when you find religion and you turn your life around. I'm not trying to make that something that is not an accomplishment, but
Lex was never a great wrestler.
But it's not a Hall of Fame accomplishment. It's more of a personal accomplishment and a thing to admire from afar. And if you go back and look, you can make an argument, maybe greatest U.S. champion, one of the greatest U.S. champions in WCW. But outside of that fact, he won a Crockett Cup. He was a world champion for a week. He got a win over Hogan for a week. Then Hogan took it right back from him. I don't know about Lex, man. I might have to.
Lex. I think really why Lex gets in is because the legends that he feuded with.
He did feud with some legends, and his feud with Flying Brian was really good too. Shout out to Brian Pillman.
And then the celebrity induction, another one that should have been in a long time as far as celebrities go, and that's Cyndi Lauper.
Yep, should have been a long time ago.
And then the final one, we were wrong, Will. Number 6 is Dave Bautista. I don't know. I like Dave outside of wrestling. I think he's a great human being. He's a pretty good actor. I think one of the better actors.
I mean, but I'm going back and looking at his career.
If you're looking at the 3 guys in wrestling who are really doing it right now, and that's Cena, Rock, and Batista. My list is Batista, Cena, Rock.
But I'm just going back to see wrestling wise.
Yeah.
But I'm just going back to see wrestling wise outside of Evolution.
Yeah, I agree. That's really his biggest accolade right there, Will, is being in one of the best factions of all time, and that's Evolution.
Yeah.
That's his
but if you
take
accolade. If you cut that
away from him, there's not a whole lot. I mean, I think he was a 7 or 8 time heavyweight champion. And then, like I've said many times, what kills me about Batista is I don't like how he left. I don't like they still to this day give Stone Cold shit about taking his ball and going home.
It was
part of even worse.
They were cutting promos on Stone Cold for that.
Batista literally came out in a wheelchair in gimmick and was like, if y'all don't appreciate me, I quit, and didn't come back for 10 years.
Yep. And I will never forget when he was doing one of his championship runs. He was down talking wrestling and not respecting the sport. Booker T whooped his ass. So Booker T even gets more respect from me for that. But I just don't know about Dave. I don't know about Dave. I don't know about Lex. There's 2 names right there. I don't know, man.
You said he took a 10-year hiatus.
Yeah, he got upset because he didn't like how they were booking him and literally quit on air. And everybody thought it was part of the story.
But it wasn't part of the story. It was true. It was true. He never came back for TV.
And then went and failed as an actor, right?
And he was having an okay career, but he wasn't getting like he was. Once he made his comeback is when he really started getting roles. And again, I think he is a really good actor. And the reason I put him above the other 2, Dan, is because he has shown he can do it all. He can do drama, he can do comedy, he can do horror. The issue I have with The Rock is I feel like it is always Dwayne The Rock Johnson Dwayne Johnson playing The Rock, playing whoever he is.
Well, and I see what you're saying because even when he did
He
the
can
Tooth
brew
Fairy,
with the best of them.
because even when he did the Tooth Fairy, he was still kind of the Rock.
And I do think Cena
Right.
is very talented, but I honestly believe Cena is really his chops. What he's really good at is comedy. You look at Peacemaker, that shit is freaking
It's hilarious.
Trainwreck.
Fuck Batman.
Trainwreck was amazing.
Fuck Batman. That's what he said in one episode. Fuck Batman.
And then he was the DC character. You know what I'm talking about?
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Is that what it is? Okay,
It's
sorry.
Peacemaker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot
Peacemaker. Yeah.
what he's called that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that shit's
that's
actually really good.
that
Peacemaker.
shit is hilarious.
It is funny as hell. Go back. You need to watch it, Dan. Go watch it on HBO Max. You will love it.
He hasn't.
Oh, his movie.
He doesn't do a lot of. He hasn't done a real dramatic role, and I mean, neither really has The Rock. The Rock is an action hero. Like that's all he does is action.
Well,
Yep.
not so fast though, because he did the one where he was the football coach.
Gridiron
what's
Gang.
it called? Gridiron Gang. Good movie.
He did Walking Tall.
Complete drama.
He did Walking Tall, but he was still. But he was.
What was that one? Skyscraper.
He did Walking Tall.
Skyscraper was an action movie.
With,
He did Walking Tall,
Stifler.
but again, that was another action movie.
And then also, all of those, you can almost say he's still playing The Rock. He's still playing. He's still Dwayne Johnson playing The Rock.
Shows you want to see
character is.
Shows you want to see some depth.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think that's one of the big reasons that people really fell out of Black Adam is because he really wasn't playing Black Adam. He was The Rock playing Black Adam.
But to be fair, between the two characters, but to be fair, if you go back and look at the comic history, there ain't too much of a difference between the two.
I was going to say,
it's not too much of a difference between the two.
Kind of mirrors his acting career and the fact that like he can do all the different kinds, but you still see the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's whether he's funny Rock or he's like serious Rocky Maivia or he's like you always just see the same dude. There's not like any. He doesn't make you separate from that's still Dwayne Johnson. Right.
When you see Batista and you see Cena, and I think it's Batista because people, again, he took so much time off. People don't really equate him to the WWE like they do the other two. Those other two were literally on top, the face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, The Rock only actually, people don't realize this, he was only really the face of the company for like 2 years.
If it places you outside of being like, that's John Cena. Or that's Dwayne Johnson. Like
he held the title 7 times, but to me it should have been more because if you're gonna put somebody on that Hall of Fame pedestal, to me it should have been more times. I mean, don't get me wrong, 7 is great, but it should have been more.
To me personally, I would like them to replace Batista with The Rock, do the induction, and The Rock move on. And because I've said this over and over again, I'm tired of every year we get around this time frame.
Yep.
Because it's frustrating. It's so annoying. I'm tired of every year, about 2 or 3 months before Rumble, you start hearing the rumors of, The Rock's going to come back. And even this year already, he's already tweeted out and said, I might be interested in Mania.
Josie taking that thing personal. Josie taking it personal.
He said that every year for like 5 years.
I know. It just don't bother me like it bothers you.
It's just because wrestling fans get so hyped for it. And I admit it, this year I thought it really happened. And it's not so much The Rock. I wanted to see The Rock versus the head of the table. It's the best way to end that storyline. It's the best way to really put an end cap on that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think we get it after Roman drops both titles?
No. I don't think he's coming back. I really, truly don't. I think he likes to push this because it gets fans talking about him for a few months. It pushes the money into his wallet. It pushes his movies. I really don't think he's ever going to come back. That's why I'm saying I wish he would just say, I'm done. I'm never stepping in the ring again. They induct him and move on.
Isn't his manager his ex-wife?
Yes.
It was. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Manager, ex-wife, manager, business partner. She's the president of the XFL.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you what goes on in those meetings when they're talking about finance. WWE fans are a fucking segment of those profits.
Oh, yeah.
They are not anything
Hell
else.
yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
the way they can maximize those profits in that
Definitely.
way is to keep saying you're coming back and then uneventfully just go, no, I'm not really.
I can't get
And,
in
like,
shape.
well,
I can't get in
after
shape in
8
time.
fucking
for
years.
They
it.
were literally talking about this match. This match is being talked about since SummerSlam. So that was 6 months at this point. And he came out 2 weeks ago and said, I can't get in shape for a championship match in time. You've known this is coming.
Josie taking it personal.
It's not that I'm taking it personally. I hate the getting it frustrated.
Right. You get hyped up for something, then it don't happen. I got you.
Getting the news and then it never happening. Getting the news
Josie,
and it never happening. And then the fact that he said I can't get in shape in time, and then not a week later was tweeting, "Oh, I could be interested in the match next year."
I feel like Dwayne Johnson is one of those guys that if you meet at a party, he is interested in what you're saying for the first 2 seconds, and then he starts looking over both your shoulders for the more popular people in the room.
And don't get me wrong, I am a fan. I enjoy the man. His movies aren't bad. I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but and then
I have to give you my HBO stuff.
And what he did and the moment he had with Adele at the Grammys last night was really sweet. But this time of year, this whole thing is always frustrating because as excited as I was, Will, for the potential of that match, I pretty much knew it wasn't going to happen.
Right. All right, everybody. Don't forget to check out Fight Night with me, Josie, Stacks. Hopefully, Kill will be able to join us as well tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We'll talk about this and a whole lot more. But right now, what I want to get into is to the huddle and talk some Super Bowl.
Hey, can we run ads? Also, I feel like, Josie, do you feel like Dwayne Johnson just wind him up? Like there's like a cover that comes off of his back, and like there's like a person with like a thing that like cranks his thing, and then he just like they let it go, and he just like goes on to stay. Yeah, and then he just walks, but he always returns. He's like a drone. He always like returns to the same spot so they can recharge him back up, or like retwist his thing in his back.
The man is a machine. He's a machine. Like
he's a money-making machine.
Everything he does, and like
I might invest in something. I might invest in some of his clothing. He just came out with a new clothing line, so I might invest.
You look at Black Adam is really his first ever failure. Not just in movies, but like his businesses don't fail.
Period.
Like, and that's why I am almost positive that the third iteration of the XFL is not going to fail because.
And I don't know if I would call Black Adam
don't fail.
And I don't know if I would call Black Adam a failure.
Money-wise,
I mean,
money-wise, no. Now with fans, yeah, but money-wise, no.
I mean, it didn't make shitty movies. It cost them. With reshoots and everything, it cost them $400 million, and it only made like $300. So in movie wise, it was a failure because it didn't surpass what it cost them to make.
Johnson Hanks 2028. Johnson Hanks on the Democratic ballot. Johnson,
God, no.
Tom Hanks, Dwayne Johnson.
No.
Dwayne, no. Dwayne Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Austin. There we go.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Do you do Tom Hanks as the president and
Tom
Johnson
Hanks,
as the vice, or do you do?
No, I'm telling you, Stone Cold, Dwayne Johnson. Come on now.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the huddle.
That's nice.
Who's going to vote that down?
America loves Tom Hanks.
Wrap up your Monday with some laughs. Make sure to join Will, Seven, Dan the Dick Warner, and Josie as they dive into the hottest topics of the week across sports, including baseball, basketball, and the NFL. You can catch the episode live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss the Sports Report Podcast.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.
It's time for more Dick, more Stacks, and more basketball talk on the hardwood. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, you can catch them live on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast.
Join them as they break down the hottest topics of the week in the NBA, along with the age-old argument on LeBron versus Jordan. This ain't one of Shaq's free throws. Don't miss it. Put the kids to bed, put on your shades, and crack open a cold one during Sports Report After Dark with Seven and Dan the Dick Warner. You can catch After Dark Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/the Sports Report podcast, and again Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. We believe that athletes are people too, and Skip Bayless is one of the lizard people. Don't miss Sports Report After Dark.
How come every time I see that Super Bowl ad, I feel like I'm getting high?
Because it's going to be in Arizona. We're going to go out
Every
there and do
time I see
peyote.
Every time I see it.
Let me talk to you about heartache and the loss of God.
That's the time that all 1,000 of my ancestors placed their hands on me, told me they were proud of me.
Yes. Scattered
All right,
on
guys,
Don's highway bleeding. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Let's talk about a little bit of the Super Bowl. Let's get into the huddle.
Before we get into the Super Bowl, I got to ask this question.
Sure.
Did anybody watch the Pro Bowl games this weekend? And if you did,
Yes.
what did you think?
I did watch that crap.
I did. They're not like, well, I totally know what you mean. And I literally just do it at this point to see if they're going to improve anything on it. And they improved. It improved. Legitimately, it did.
I watched.
It's not great.
I only watched the last hour because I didn't realize that it was in the middle of the day. One thing.
You thought it was gonna be that night, didn't you?
Yeah. But I will say it was more interesting to me. I enjoyed that it was like an Olympic style event. Everything added cumulative points. The flag football games were actually kind of fun. You got to hear a little bit more of the huddle, a little bit more of the conversation. I love anything where Peyton Manning loses, so
I didn't get a chance to watch the dodgeball. How did the dodgeball game go? That's honestly the only thing I cared about.
The dodgeball.
I honestly didn't see that either. They did a thing called Move the Sticks, which was linemen. I thought that was cool. They basically had to pull it was you had a four sled, so pushing sleds in practice. It was lined up with 45-pound plates on the other side. They basically had to take them off and then go pull the sled in the fastest time. And it was 4-on-4. They did a one out of three thing. It was kind of cool, but
they had a gauntlet in which players ran through walls and then jumped over things, and then at the end it was a sled with each coach on it, and they had to push it.
And Tony, they're doing a thing called Best Catch now. If you haven't seen that,
yeah, they did
Best
Catch,
their slam dunk contest
which was okay, but I will say, was it Stephon Diggs?
Mm-hmm.
Was in the finals, and his finals catches were stupid. I don't know what he was trying to pull off. But
Josie, he had a cowboy throw into him. Is probably what it was. His brother Trayvon was throwing him the ball, so that's probably why. It honestly was a lot of it because Trayvon. Why does he have a DB? I know it's his brother. but they didn't seem like they had any kind of
Well,
connection.
Trevor Lawrence threw it one of those.
He
Trevor
did,
Lawrence
but
threw one of those. But
yeah,
like the ones before where the two guys hit the trampolines and jumped over the mascots, those were pretty cool. The ones that won, I can't remember.
That was it was Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother. Yeah. So yeah, his Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit. He's actually a fucking stud. He's really he's a
I could see this evolving and being something more. And I will say this: I was impressed. That stadium was almost full. Like it was packed.
It's Vegas.
I mean, true.
The Raiders could have been playing. It would have been almost packed. It's Vegas.
The casinos.
Yeah, there was
True.
crazy odds on that fucking tug of war and egg toss. There's crazy numbers on that egg toss, that NFL egg toss.
I mean, Pro Bowl is never going to be like the All-Star game in the NBA and MLB. It's never going to be at that level. But I think you're going to have players more interested to play because the winning team made 84, the losing team made 41. Now I realize to these guys that's chump change, but they're more likely to go out there and have a good time for the fans for that chump change if they're less likely to get hurt.
Yeah. Which
is why a lot of players didn't want to play when it was full contact regular game because they're worried about going out there and taking an injury that's going to cost them an entire season.
I agree.
That's the real improvement. That's the real improvement I was talking about was that they made it a no contact, not let's go pussyfoot around and hit and then they blow the whistle almost immediately. Why don't we just make it flag football because that's what it is now?
Yeah.
And and then the competitions were cool. I liked a lot of them. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and watch, I don't really care unless it's like long throw. They used to do long throw, which is like, they should bring that back where the the quarterback should throw as far as they can. Those were cool.
I remember that.
Those were cool.
I think they're finally have reached some kind of format with it that they will continue to expand on, that will get a little bit better, and it will be a fun thing to watch. But again, it's never going to be like the MLB and the NBA because one, those are held in the middle of the season for a reason. You can't do that in the NFL. This is really the only time you can do the all-star type game for the NFL.
The coolest part was definitely the flag football. Okay,
yes.
So the flag was the coolest part because you get to see the one-on-one matchups without any rusher. Like there is a rusher, but like it's not much. Like so you're getting to see a lot of the isolated places. Yeah, like you're going to see a lot of these isolated matchups and see like how these guys actually move, not in a whole game setting, which is actually, and they obviously cut the field down, but like it's foot speed, it's actual speed, like just the level that it's at, and you get to see it really fucking up close because there's just like one-on-one matchups the whole time, and dudes are just like because you get 7 seconds to fucking throw if nobody rushes, they're just standing back there, so it's just like following them around. And it really shows the athleticism.
Now, what I didn't realize is they did 3 different games. There was one game to start Sunday, one in the middle, and then one to end it. And, I mean, like I said, it was one of the more interesting Pro Bowls I've seen in a while. I will say that.
Myles Garrett, by the way, should just be called NFL street clothes. Dislocated his toe.
Yeah.
And what can only be aptly called as a NFL version of the skills competition in the NBA All-Star game where they throw through like the hoops, what I'm talking about, where they have to dribble through the cones. He was doing the same thing, except for it was like a fucking gladiator or the America where they go through the
gladiators
obstacle course.
Yeah.
Well, they go through the obstacle course.
He was running the tires, right? And
he was going up and down over tires or something. Yeah. And he literally just landed on his foot and dislocated it, and I'm like, oh god.
I mean, he is the AD of the NFL, so
can't be doing that. Myles Garrett, you're a stud.
All right, guys. There's a couple.
You got too much chick muscles, Jody.
Before we get into the Super Bowl itself, there's a couple things I want to go over that happened while we were off the air. The Denver Broncos have themselves a new head coach in Sean Payton. What do you guys think about that? Seven, what you thinking?
How about go ahead, Seven.
Sean Payton took the most undesirable coaching position that was available in the NFL. I think he is the only one that was qualified to take that position. So I think Denver didn't have a fucking choice.
But what about
genius.
what about the fact that Denver was still trying to hire DeMeco Ryans, and then when he told them no twice,
he ain't ready for that.
Then they folded and went to Sean.
Well, the DeMeco Ryan pursuit is because you don't want to have to give up the picks when you're already struggling as a team.
Exactly.
They could use those picks.
I'll take
like
that.
that's realistically they could use those picks. Now, a lot of Denver's issue is on offense. Sean Payton is an offensive guru. If you go with DeMeco Ryan as your head coach, you're going to a defensive powerhouse team. This is DeMeco Ryan. DeMeco Ryan, if his abilities follow through, we could see like a Bill Belichickian direction where it's all about the defense, but you're going to have a decent offense that does just enough to win and all of that. Which honestly, that's all the Texans need right now. Just get it to where you have something consistent, which I think is great. But you can't. The truth of the matter is, you can't just be like that in the AFC West. Not with the other three teams in your division. It's not going to work because you will still lose. Because just like when Denver faced Kansas City this year, that defense was stacked. Denver has a decent defense, but if you don't have any production out of your offense, you're not going to get anywhere. This is the toughest division in football. One of the toughest divisions in football if everybody's actually firing on all cylinders. So they had to take Sean Payton because of the fact that this is the only way that they are going to get anything out of Russell Wilson. Because I'm definitely out on Russell Wilson. I don't think he's fixable. I don't think it's just a mental thing. I think he's dropped off of a cliff. I think Sierra's husband is just milking the money he can. If I'm right, more power to him. You know what? I don't blame you.
Again, he's pulling an AD. He got his money.
But I also believe that Black Tebow, because Jesus didn't help White Tebow. Why is he going to help Black Tebow?
No,
so listen, but
you guys aren't showing me a whole lot of evidence for that Jesus guy.
But here's the thing that I'm going to say. Thank you. Oh wait. Count it.
Count it.
But the thing for me is, if any of the available coaches were going to get anything out of Russell Wilson, it's going to be Sean Payton. And you've got to get at least 2 more years out of Russell Wilson before you can move off of him with any semblance of success moving forward, because you're not taking a huge blow to your cap. So what they are doing is they're telling Sean Payton, for the love of God, keep us in it. Get us a couple of wild cards. They don't have any realistic expectations of winning a division. They would just like to see a wild card game.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, that's what they would like to get back to, because you have been so burned by quarterbacks. If you're the Broncos organization since you lost Peyton Manning, and you've had so much instability, Russell Wilson has not been very good, but he would also be the first long-term quarterback they've had if they can write him out for 2 more years since they lost Peyton Manning.
I just think what you were saying earlier, I think Peyton would put Russell in positions to win, unlike Nathaniel Hackett, who was way over his head.
Absolutely. And DeMeco Ryan was over his head too if he would have taken that job. And I think he knew that, and that's why he didn't take it.
Yeah.
I think DeMeco Ryan, the smartest choice that DeMeco Ryan made for his coaching career was not taking the Denver job.
And
I love that, and I love him in Houston because he played for the team.
And we had this discussion on After Dark, and I don't think it's going to happen, but Seven brought it up. DeMeco needs to go and get him EB from the Chiefs. Honestly,
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. He's going to go to Baltimore.
Yeah, he'll go to Baltimore.
It looks like
he'll go to Baltimore before he goes. He'll go to Baltimore before he go to Houston.
Well, and Seven
it would be a good combo.
Seven made a great point about this on After Dark. It would be a great combo because, like you said, DeMeco is an amazing defensive mind, and as much as EB has had a hand in what the Chiefs have done over there, he's never gonna get the credit he's due because of Big Red.
For all intents and purposes, Andy Reid is the offensive coordinator of that team.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yes. Andy Reid can say till he's blue in the face, like he has multiple times, that Eric Bieniemy calls the offense,
Nobody believes
because of the fact that Andy Reid is the head coach. Nobody's going to believe him. But if you put D'Amico Ryan and Eric Bieniemy together down in Houston, you could, depending on who you get as quarterback, and maybe that's you bring Derek Carr down. Because obviously they got to get rid of him. You could get results out of Derek. You could get 2 years of the results.
Hey, my boy Lovie Smith got him good. Lovie Smith got him good winning that last game.
Like Santa?
He got him good because he knocked him out that number 1 draft pick.
Yeah,
but
it really isn't.
Good.
It's not going to really make that much of a difference because it doesn't look like Chicago is off Justin
Fields. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that.
So it doesn't look unless they trade it, which hasn't been a lot of discussion in that either. I think Texans are still gonna take the first QB off the board, and I think that's gonna be
Stroud.
You think y'all think? What do you think about Stroud? To me, he got all the tools. To me,
I think over the two that are being talked about to be the top 2 QBs taken, Stroud and Young. I think Stroud is the better one, and then depending on who Houston does get as their OC, the thing I like about EB is. Anybody else, I think the Texans are looking at 4 years before they're in the divisional. I think if you bring EB in, 2 to 3 is a definite possibility.
It depends on what you can get out of CJ Stroud. But my concern for picking CJ Stroud as your quarterback if you're the Texans and having him start is
what we talk about all the time.
Ohio does what we talk about all the time. Ohio does not run a pro style offense.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
And so if you draft CJ Stroud, and again, big fan of the Ohio State program. I'm a huge fan of Ryan Day. We actually talked about him on After Dark one night. Amazing coach. He has an amazing culture up there in Ohio State. But they do not run a pro style offense. CJ Stroud is being set up for failure if he is the starter day one when he gets drafted. It doesn't matter what team. It's not even about the scheme. They don't run a pro style offense.
Nope.
Honestly,
so if you grab Carr, and this is why, again, giving him a year to sit behind somebody, grab Derek Carr. Okay?
Yeah.
You get Derek Carr, say, look, we're going to draft CJ Stroud. You tell Derek Carr. Tell him. That's the only way you're going to get any production out of him once it happens. Tell Derek Carr. We're going to draft CJ Stroud. But he is 2 years to start. And you sign Derek Carr to a 4-year deal. And then you have CJ Stroud sitting behind him. You can get CJ in a position to start with success and make a difference for that organization. Yeah. Give Derek Carr a new place. He gets free. Grab him a couple of receivers. And you can have a semblance of an offense while you take another couple of years to build. Because again, you're not expecting even a wild card for 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. And
Derek Carr can teach.
And you got Damian and you got a good running back already in Pierce.
Yeah,
exactly.
Pierce is a good running back. Pierce is one of the only things on the offense we've got that's positive.
Yep.
That's the other thing is it's not just a QB. He's got no weapons to throw to, because I honestly believe before the season starts that
I think Cooks will be gone.
Yeah, I think Cooks will be traded before the season starts. I think they trade him for picks.
I think he's gone.
Are we back talking about Houston again?
We've been talking about Houston for 10 minutes, bro.
I know. I'm just making sure that everybody knows that we're back talking about it.
Talk about LeBron in every show, motherfucker.
It's a little relevant.
So I haven't said it yet.
It's a little relevant, but
you have.
But again, I do think Eric Bieniemy goes to.
Yeah.
I think Eric Bieniemy goes to Baltimore because when you get the chance, Derek Carr and CJ Stroud or Lamar Jackson. Who do you think Eric Bieniemy wants to work with?
Yeah. I mean, now I will say on the Lamar Jackson front, there has been talks between Detroit and the Ravens of a possible trade there. There has been talks.
There's also rumors too that the Ravens have got a franchise Lamar. You do that, you kill.
They've already said you kill. They've already said they're going to franchise him, but he's not going to sign the franchise.
No, you kill it, and you kill. He wants any faith. and any faith you had in that front office is gone.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the game on Madden where the quarterback test where you had to throw through the rings, like where you do an out route and they throw through the rings? They do one of those in the Pro Bowl now, where it's like they're just moving rings that go across, and you just have fucking Derek Carr fucking killed it, dude. He might be one of the most deadly fucking accurate dudes I've ever seen.
He's accurate,
nasty.
And then right before he went out there and killed that competition, he said, "Have you ever been this hot in Vegas?" And he said, "I guess not, because that's why I'm leaving."
He said that's why. He said that's why this might be the last time I am on this field, is what he said. Yeah, he like made a joke about it to Peyton, like straight joke about him leaving. Yeah,
a couple other things I want to go over.
Brian Flores, the Vikings
signed from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Minnesota Vikings. That's a good deal. He can revamp that Vikings defense. Loving that. There's a story that came out. I don't know if we can talk about all of it, but there's a story that came out on NFL.com ranking all the 75 running backs from the 2022 season. And I thought it was kind of interesting.
Just give me the top 5.
Oh,
yeah,
I'll give you the top 5. Number 5 is Nick Chubb, Cleveland Browns. Number 4 is Derrick Henry. Number 4
is Derrick Henry.
Number 4 is Derrick Henry. That kind of shocked me a little bit. That shocked me a little bit. That kind of shocked me. Number 3 is Josh Jacobs, another one that threw me for a loop. Number 2 is Austin Eckler.
Get the fuck out of here.
So neither one of those have been Derrick Henry. Are you fucking kidding?
I like the Chargers. Yeah,
I was gonna say those two. I don't even know are top 5, and Derrick Henry, the last few seasons he's had, should be in like 2. I would say.
Okay, who's one?
If you're looking at the totality of, but if you're looking at a totality of a running back, both receiving and rushing the ball, Eckler's up there.
He is. He's a great pass catcher, but that's not being a running back though, Will.
Well, it's got to be part of your game because this next person is a better version of that.
Christian McCaffrey.
And Christian McCaffrey. They're number one. They're number one.
But see, that one I can agree with.
Where's Dalvin Cook at?
Christian McCaffrey can run the ball.
They did Dalvin Cook dirty.
As well as catch the ball.
They did Dalvin Cook dirty. Dalvin Cook number 7. They did him dirty.
That's who's 6?
All right, give me top 10, Will.
Saquon Barkley. All right, I'll start from 10.
That's fine.
I'll go from 10 to 1. Number 10, Miles Sanders from the Eagles. Number 9, Ramondre Stevenson from the Patriots.
Interesting.
Number 8, Aaron Jones from the Packers. Number 7, Dalvin Cook from the Vikings. I still think that's a disrespect. Number 6.
I think Dalvin Cook is 5.
Number 6 is Saquon Barkley. Again, number 5 is Nick Chubb. Number 4 is Derrick Henry. Number 3 is Josh Jacobs. Number 2 is Austin Eckler. And number 1 is Christian McCaffrey.
Josh Jacobs should be where now the name escaped me.
Galvin Cook.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Switch them 7 and 4. I agree with that. Will, do you also think that I'm okay if you put Henry number 2 and McCaffrey 1 still?
Mm-hmm.
But those two are, I feel like those two are fucking interchangeable at this point, right? I don't even know if there's like a.
I think what gives McCaffrey the edge in that one is he is able to run it as well as he's got hands. Henry doesn't catch it very often.
But that's the same thing with Austin Eckler.
Right.
I mean, if you go back and look at Austin Eckler, the main thing that puts him where he is right now is because he can run between the tackles and he can catch the football.
So in 1995, Derrick Henry is the number 1 running back.
Oh, hell yeah! Because
in 2022, he's
because the position in 95 was different than it is now.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, in 95, Peyton Hillis was.
You look at the bus. You look at the bus.
It's a little later on than 95, but I'm just saying.
Toby Gerhardt.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it was a different game back then. It was all about plowing through,
right?
And now it's the running back position is way more about finesse, finding the hole, hitting the angles.
that's what everything is about. That's how the whole game has changed at this point. Like it is about finesse. It is more about like
it's not as much about raw
spread
power.
out. It's spread out. There's not
Where-
like everything's not in anymore. The quarterbacks, it happened with the quarterbacks uptick in arm strength and
Right.
talent is what
Right.
happened is everybody since when you hear somebody say a quarterback can make every throw, that used to be rare. It's not anymore.
Not
Quarterbacks
now.
can make every throw all the time, and that has spread the game completely out. I mean, Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss was one of the first examples of it, and that took, or Cunningham, I guess, but like Culpepper could just throw the ball fucking forever. So like it just arm strength flexens the game out, and then you get Robert Smith, guys like Robert Smith, one knows who I'm talking about, who quit early. One of the most famous exits early from the NFL to become a doctor. He already had a medical degree. He was already he was still going to school while he's playing and shit. He played for like 4 years and he was like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not trying to get CT. And like
He was the man, though. He was the man.
well, he wasn't, dude. He was, caught the ball in the backfield.
Mhm.
Austin Eckler type of guy, Christian
man,
McCaffrey type of guy. One of the first ones, and they just kind of spread it,
What's 7 go?
Guys who can make it.
He said
What's
it'd be
7
our
go?
man.
What's 7 go? His guy made it on here. Isaiah Pacheco is number 25.
Isaac Pacheco, was that 25?
Where is not Zeke, the other running back for the
Tony
Cowboys?
Pollard.
Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard. Where's
12.
Pollard?
Pollard, I thought I saw he was at
12.
number
Something
12.
like that.
Number 12.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
so I
number 12.
figured out some
Number
of
12.
that.
I was gonna say, I mean, he had a good season. I will say on another note, and this is not just because I can't stand the Cowboys. The Cowboys need to do whatever they can this year to either get rid of both or one of those contracts, and
I
Dax
think
or
Zeke
Zeke.
gone. I think Zeke gone.
They're not
Well-
going to get rid of Dak's contract.
Oh no, Dak's staying.
It's not
but
happening. Yeah,
but I
he's-
think they get rid of Zeke because Tony Pollard has
They
already
should.
because Tony Pollard's already shown he's more explosive.
Yeah, well, he's just better. Like Zeke only really came in third down this year. That was when Zeke was making only time he was really touching the ball was
And that's,
third down.
and that's another dude we talked about. As soon as he got his money, what happened?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Just kidding.
Is Zeke in like the 50s? Will I would say he's like,
Let me see real quick if I
No,
can
he's probably
find him.
25.
Some of these guys, I can't believe. I mean,
well, I will
Zeke
say
is right. Zeke is right at 20,
20.
and I think that's kind of high because
Well,
I
that
thought
is
that because I thought once McCaffrey left, Dante Foreman from the Panthers performed really good, and he should have been ahead of Zeke to me.
Foreman's a stud.
I
Foreman's like
would
mini
say-
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
I would say Zeke needs to be in the 30s somewhere.
I would say I said 25. I think he's a starter somewhat on every team. If you're going to go all the way down the bottom of it, like if you're going to go, oh, what team needs a running back? Zeke's going to start somewhere, I think, in the NFL still, which makes him within the top 32. I think that you pick out the team with the worst running back and you go, okay, could Zeke replace that guy? He probably could, right?
So this is the reason I say the thing about Dax is Jerry Jones came out this week and said they're looking at drafting a QB. In their position where they're at, they're not going to get a great QB. They're at like 28, 27. There's
you're gonna have to really do some scouting to be able to hit.
That's
that
what I'm
spot.
saying. So you think about what could you give maybe Chicago take over Dak's contract for that number one spot.
But I can't see that though, because if you get Dak, you gotta get rid of Justin. I don't know if they get rid of Justin Fields. I don't know. I think they keep Justin because Justin gives you more of an upside than Dak because Justin's a lot younger.
I agree. I mean,
So,
Dak is definitely on the down end of his career.
I
And I've
wouldn't,
said for years, Dak is not the guy. Dak
And I
is not
wouldn't-
the guy.
and I wouldn't say down for a particular reason. I just think he's
He's
straight line.
inconsistent.
He's average.
Inconsistent.
He's
not even-
average.
he's not straight line necessarily. You look at him; he can never have two back-to-back great.
He's
games.
average at best. Yeah, he's average.
He has an elite game, as we saw against Tampa.
Mhm.
That game, 5 touchdowns, one of the best games I've ever seen Dak have. And then the next game, one of the worst games we've seen
yeah.
Dak have.
Oh yeah.
And that's the story of Dak. He has a great, fantastic game, and then the next game plummets. I mean, you look, he had one of the highest turnover percentages in the NFL this year.
I just think he's very average. Very average, I think, for Dak. Very, very average. But I don't think, because of that reason alone and the upside of Justin Fields, I can't see Chicago letting go of Justin Fields. I can't.
If you're Chicago, the only reason you're getting rid of Justin Fields is because you're trading him to the Ravens for Lamar and giving Lamar a big contract. Mm-hmm. That's the only scenario where that happens that makes sense based on what's available right now. And I don't think that's going to happen.
Do y'all think Chicago is keeping that number one spot, or are they going to end up trading it?
I think they keep it because I think they might keep it because they need help. They need help everywhere. I mean, your best receiver is Chris Claiborne. I mean, Claypool. I'm sorry. I mean that they need help.
But is there a receiver going to be? Go ahead.
They need help.
I was going to say it'd be Jaden Carter from Georgia, the defensive lineman, who's a Warren
because they need help on defense.
Who's a Warren Sapp type. He plays in that Tampa 2. That's the same scheme that they run. He's like the perfect fucking it'd be like on Madden if you were like, oh my DT's only a 72, and you're like, oh, right. I run the system and I need to have a good defensive tackle. You got a 90 rookie that you're just like, oh, okay, he's like 6 points above everybody else. That's kind of what I think his name's Jaden Carter. Jaden Carter or something.
And then he'll be on a rookie deal too, so you can maximize that usage.
His first 5 years are for free, basically, or for free, and those are going to be nasty because there's no way he can't be good, dude. He doesn't have to have a skill set as far as like a receiver or a quarterback or a running back as a skill set, right? He just has to have a couple of things. There's very simple stuff that you can see at that level. Like they don't miss on defensive tackles a whole lot, or blitzing linebackers because they're just downhill. That's what there's a couple of decisions they make.
That's what they built to do.
Yes, there's no intricacies really to their position. So like Jaden Carter's a fucking sure bet. Sure bet. He's going to dominate. Give him 2 years, he's going to dominate. So, Mario Williams kind of did it. Mario Williams was like a sure bet. He didn't end up panning out. Listen, he didn't end up panning out, but you saw flashes from Mario Williams throughout his entire career that when he wanted to play, that's what you can establish. You can't establish whether Jaden Carter's going to want to play or not. Like we can't establish that, but once he gets his money, he ain't going to want to play. But for the first 5 years to get his money,
yeah, he'll do it. He's
going to play. I
thought it was interesting too. Before we get off on the actual Super Bowl, Jonathan Taylor, the coach running back, was still ranked at 24 despite having an injury-plagued season. We'll see what he does when he comes. Hopefully, he'll be healthy. They'll have a new coach, probably a new OC. So we'll see what they do. Because just Saturday, just Saturday ain't it.
Jonathan Taylor owns the Division I single game rushing record.
Still
for college. Do you know? Do you know what it is? It's like 300. I don't know exactly the number. It's like 383 yards in one game. Damn. Do you know what school he did that against? The Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I knew he had the record, but I didn't know the school.
383 yards in Lincoln.
Amazing.
Ran for 383 yards in one game. That's a
damn.
So fucking like what was our defense doing?
They was asleep.
31 carries for 381 yards.
Jesus.
And 4 touchdowns. That's ridiculous. Like that's just people not like they were not making business decisions, or they were making business decisions. They were like, I'm okay.
We gonna let you go.
Sweet, you're really fast.
Sweet right, sweet left, sweet right, sweet left. Up the middle.
Good for you, Jonathan Taylor.
Good for you.
You're so fast.
I want to real quick go over everyone's Super Bowl pick again. Josie, who you going with?
I'm having a real hard time on this one because one, I don't really care who wins it. I'm excited for this Super Bowl because I think it's going to be one of the better Super Bowls we've seen in a very, very long time. And I think the fans are going to be the ones to win. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just excited. But I think I got to go with the future GOAT and Patty Mahomes. Like,
so funny. It'd be so funny if it turned out to be a defensive.
I mean, right. it very funny. Well could. It could.
It's going
It could be. It could be.
And
But
both teams are, and Philadelphia's got a great defense. The Chiefs has a good defense, so I wouldn't be fun to be defensive shootout. But go ahead.
I know. Mama Kelsey wants the highest scoring Super Bowl of all time. She says she's going to be just rooting for offense the entire game. She's not picking a kid. She's just going to be rooting for offense.
7, who you picking?
Cop out answer.
We know who 7 picking. We know who 7.
I was going to say,
You
like,
know
why are
who
you even asking him?
Who am I
knows 7
picking?
Yeah, who
am I picking?
Yeah, who you picking?
I'm gonna pick the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles
He
set
just burst into flames for that joke.
No,
I had money on it. 34-31.
I want Kansas City to win, but the truth be told, Philadelphia is a better team on paper. And as much as I will be cheering for my homeboy and Travis Kelce, the truth of the matter is the Eagles have on paper the better team.
Well,
and the better their defense is more proven. Their offense was more their offense was more consistent.
best O-line in football this year.
Now they both teams scored the same amount of points throughout the season, but which I thought was interesting. But there's the offense of the Eagles is more well-rounded, and that you get a lot more out of the run. And stopping the run has not been Kansas City's best stat this year. And so they're flirting with that Obama immigration policy. Letting everybody through. And I hope, but Kansas City's also first when it comes to pass block.
We got 3 white wide receivers done.
So
we got 3 white wide receivers. We're terrible.
So I think that I will be rooting for Kansas City, and I want Kansas City to win. Kansas City is my pick. I don't pick against my team.
Right.
But the Eagles are a better team on paper.
And I do want to say, as I've said many times, I do believe Jason Kelce is one of the best centers to ever play the game. And I think he is definitely
the best center to ever play the game.
And I do think he is definitely thinking the R word after this season, because he was thinking it after last season. It was Jalen Hurts. It was Jalen Hurts to convince him. And yes, that's just it, Dan. I think he wins. He's done. He walks out, as we just said, the best center to ever play the game. And not just that, like I said, their O-line was one of the best O-lines in the NFL this year.
Dan, who you taking?
I'm gonna go back to the we're gonna reverse this. I'm gonna analyze this like this is professional wrestling, okay? I'm gonna figure out what this works for the characters involved. Okay, so
then you got to throw into it that it's in State Farm Stadium, and the Chiefs are the team of State Farm.
Alignment. See that? I mean, it's all so you have Patty, who has been kind of the, he was the guy who captured the belt, and now it's been like, why is he? He's right there. He just lost it, and then he's been right there. Everyone just expected him to get it back, right? But at the same time, you have Jalen Hurts, who is more of the grinding type that they don't really understand. Is like, is he gonna get it because the people like him, or is he gonna get it just because he's just working hard? He's gonna do it naturally, right? He's just gonna kind of force the outcome, correct? So I think the Chiefs are gonna win. I think that this continues the narrative that Patrick Mahomes, they're going to try and adorn him the GOAT before he really is, because
they did it with Brady. They were naming him the GOAT after his first Super Bowl.
No, they weren't. No, they were not. No.
I just heard that on
after number 4, yeah, but not after that first one, no.
Yeah, because he tied Montana, and they were like, might be. And then he skips a year,
that was the
title,
benchmark.
skips a year, title, skips a year, title, and everyone was like, okay, yeah, that probably solidifies that he's definitely the GOAT. He just went over above and beyond. But I think that, dude, I when we did the list last week, I had Mahomes number 2 already. He is 27 years old. Like, that's just what I see. Like, on the field, I'm like, holy fuck, dude. There's no way that this guy isn't at least the second best quarterback.
When
of all
you
time.
said
And
that,
we've all watched football for Brady's entire
Watched
career. Like, so, and that's the thing is with Jordan and LeBron, a large chunk of the people that put Jordan ahead of LeBron, the golden years of Jordan in Chicago were when they fell in love with the NBA.
I mean, it's so weird. I was going to make a Jordan LeBron reference too. I've said that, but I really
and then LeBron comes in after Jordan's out, and LeBron comes in and he plays really strong, but he's not getting the titles. There are so many people. There are so many, really quickly on this, the whole LeBron Jordan thing. There are so many people that forget Jordan did not start winning titles when he came into the NBA. Like, he had to work up that hill like LeBron did. Brady came in and started winning
immediately.
Patrick came in and started winning, but Patrick didn't just start winning. He won more. And so we have been forced as a very quick thing to recognize he's already better now than Brady was at the same point in his career.
Yes.
And I think part of those offensive numbers comes from the fact that Brady played for a defensive-minded coach. With all of the success of the Patriots, everybody forgets that Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach.
True. But
Andy Reid is an offensive-minded coach. He's like Bill Belichick's Wario in a sense, if you will. And so it's the truth of the matter is that Patrick Mahomes is already right there in the discussion. He's earned it. Yes, he's only got one ring out of 2 trips, but we weren't this enamored with Joe Montana at that point in his career. And that's where all of this GOAT talk already with Pat comes from. Can he get there and beat Brady over all of those statistics and Montana over all of those statistics and all that? Yeah, he's already like halfway there.
You can definitely do it, but the titles are going to be the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why it's so similar. That's literally, I'm not even going to talk to him long because on Wednesday I'm going to fucking school Will on that whole thing. We'll do that. And I'm going to stay at this demeanor the whole time. I'm not going to get any more excited than this.
I won't be alone.
It will just be statistics.
I will not be alone,
and
sir.
They'll be flowing. No, but like that's how it's similar. Is like I just see Patrick Mahomes play, and I'm like, that guy's one of the greatest of all time. I don't know. I don't think there's no doubt in my mind. It doesn't matter if he has the records, which he'll probably get. It doesn't matter if he has the titles because I don't. But like just as a player, I think that it's very telling to just watch with your eyes and go, holy shit, he does stuff that nobody else has ever even tried to do, let alone just done. And it happens so naturally for him, and he is so comfortable all the time that it seems like it shouldn't be happening. But like that's the only comparison I was going to make to it. But check out the Hardwood on Wednesday, 10.
We doing it Wednesday?
Eastern, 9. Yeah,
that's when they always do it.
Josie.
Yeah.
We have
That's the problem with Wednesday. We have a show.
Ooh, you should go back and watch. You should go back and watch last week's episode of the Hardwood, Will. Then, and you'll get a good explanation from Josie why you're doing it. You guys remember? Oh, he remembers. She remembers. Yeah, she does. Look, see.
Well, the problem is I'm
Josie committed you. Josie committed you to. Well, that doesn't matter because I only need Will.
I got another show.
Josie committed you to the.
No, the problem is, Dan, is he's got to run the show without me, so he won't be able to be there. So it's going to have to be another week.
Yep. Well, another night during this week, if you up for it.
I'm ready right now.
Shit, I gotta go to bed.
I got work tomorrow. So
I've done that to Will like 4 times. I've been like, Will, let's just have it right now. It's always like 2 hours into a podcast.
Hey, 2 hours into a podcast. We do it now. You want to go another?
I'm trying to wear you down, man. I'm trying to wear you down. Very strategic with my spots.
All right, you guys, real quick. I'm changing my pick. Originally with the Eagles. With the Chiefs. I'm changing my pick. I think the wide receiver differential with what the Eagles can present, even when the Kansas City wide receiver trio is healthy. I think outside of Kelsey, I think the Eagles are better at the wide receiver spot with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and
The look
Goddard
on Steven's face right now.
and Goddard, while Goddard is nowhere near where Kelsey is, he's good enough to move the chains. That running game is firing on all cylinders right now with Miles Sanders. You got Boston Scott that can do his thing when called upon. So, and that defense is playing very well. The defense is playing well, particularly that secondary. I love that Eagles secondary. So I'm taking the Eagles.
Tony, before you speak, I'm on Will's boat right here. I actually said at the very beginning of it, I changed my mind. I think last week I said like 23-20 Chiefs or something like that, or 26-20. I think it's going to be Eagles in reverse. I just think that receiving crew can move the football. They can move the chains. A.J. Brown is no joke. Devontae Smith is no joke. I've talked to my adopted son, Pat, and he you know what? He's not feeling so into it right now. Maybe as the week goes on later, we'll figure out how he's feeling, you know. But
I think I
talk to him daily on the phone. We text.
I think it'd be a good game. My only fear, I hope it don't come down to field goals.
I
have no faith in Jake.
Almost every close game does.
I don't have any faith in Elliott from long range. If it's something like 30 and in, I'm cool. But anything past that for Elliott, oh no.
Bucker got that foot.
Yeah.
Bunker got that foot, but Bucker's missed a few this year that he shouldn't have. So I don't want it to come down to a kick either.
I don't want it to come down because Elliott will miss it.
Ideally, you know what? I want a shootout. I want a shootout because I think that if we get a shootout, I actually think Patrick Mahomes takes the advantage. You can't give me. There is not a quarterback in this league right now with a shootout against Patrick Mahomes is going to come out on top. I'm sorry.
I 100% agree.
And
with
it's going to be hard. And it's going to be hard to sack either one of these quarterbacks because they move so well out of the pocket. This thing ain't even funny.
Mahomes' ankle is going to be probably about 85 to 90%. It's not going to be healthy. It's not going to be 100%. If he hadn't played last or in the AFC Championship, Patrick Mahomes would be starting the Super Bowl on 100% ankle. But he played.
Hurt shoulder should be fine by the time Super Bowl rolls around.
Oh, that hurt shoulder's been fine.
That hurt ankle is a good thing. That keeps him from doing what he did 2 years ago. And just trying to win it on let's just go scramble his back turn thing. He does like the thing where he turns back to his left side.
Even before the ankle, he you could see that he's matured. He didn't do that near as much this season, even before the ankle. He did a lot of it, but it has definitely become more controlled.
He's getting better at doing it at the right time.
Like I said, I just hope this ain't an offensive shootout. I just hope it's not. I honestly do believe that it's going to be one of the better Super Bowls we've seen in at least a decade.
Both number one teams, both the best teams in their conference.
Both the potential MVPs. Now we know who's winning the MVP, but it's the two guys vying for MVP.
Do we know?
It's Patty.
It's Patty.
It's going to be Patrick Mahomes, but
it should.
They've done weird shit.
It should, but I think it would be a stronger case if Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt those two games.
I agree.
No. I 100% agree with that. If Jalen hadn't went out, it would be coming down to probably a vote, maybe two.
Yep.
But the fact that Jalen missed 3 games gave it to Pat.
Yeah. If he didn't miss those games, I think
I don't know. It didn't give it to him, but it put Pat in the front because of what he was able to do.
Right. Right.
The total yards record for the year now belongs to Patrick Mahomes.
What was it? What is it?
It's 54.
It's got to be like 50. I think it was like 55 something. It's got to be in the 55 56 range.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
And that's great. And of course he breaks it in the new expanded season. I don't really care. Like
where it's going to get broken and broken.
It's going to be broken anyway.
They're all going to get broken now because of the extended season. So don't fucking come in with that.
Real quick though, on records. Do y'all think Kelsey ever breaks Gronk's single season touchdown record, 17? You don't think Kelsey breaks it?
No, because he doesn't need to.
There's no need.
He doesn't need to.
I mean, it's
I mean, he said on the podcast he wants to.
It's a huge goal. Yeah, well, obviously he wants to.
It's a huge goal, but nah.
What other goals does he have to shoot for at this point?
I mean, he
got 14 this year.
He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
I mean,
come Can we just take a second to?
And plus, now that you see KC involved the running game a little bit more, that diminishes the chances. That diminishes the chance even more because you got Pacheco running the football well, and you got Jared McKinnon running the football well.
14 this year, which was his career high for a season. He hit 14 touchdowns this year, which was his career high for a season. So that kind of doesn't stand, Will.
Well, but the thing of it is Kansas City's run game, because with the Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting hurt, Kansas City's run game as it is now didn't start to take shape until about week 12. It was odd. Because I would be willing to bet if there was a way to split the numbers between the first half of the season and the second half of the season, Travis Kelce had more touchdowns in the first half of the season than the second half. I would be willing to bet money on it.
And can you imagine if CEH doesn't come back the start of the next year? I bet you they keep the same thing going.
They just took him off of IR. He's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They took him off of IR and put Mecole Hardman on today.
Okay.
Brady announced today that he'll start with Fox in 2024.
Fall of 2024 is when
$375 million. I'll start too.
Well, I'm surprised
today.
I'm surprised that they're letting him take a year off, a whole year.
Letting him?
Is he taking that year?
I think he's taking the year. I think because the
money that they're paying him,
you don't let goddamn Tom Brady do.
Tom Brady let Tom Brady do shit. The money. When did the contract specify he starts getting paid? Because it could be
he doesn't start getting paid until he's on it.
Yeah, he's in the role. Yeah,
do you think he has enough money already?
He got enough money.
That's why I'm saying letting him. When they signed that deal with Tom, it was, hey, when you're ready, come make this money. And he was like, when I'm ready, when you're ready.
Yep. 2024.
Is Gronk going to be there? Gronk's going to be there. Is somebody else going to be responsible for Gronk making sure he knows all his shit? Yeah, it's not your job anymore. Done. That was the entire conversation.
And I didn't think that Gronk was going to end up, but the way they had him in the divisional round and the championship round on Fox, I do think that it was better than I thought. It was better than I thought.
He's like a white booger McFarlane.
Oh my God, that is not a good comparison. Booger is one of the worst analysts.
No. Here's the thing.
Ever.
And I'm not talking in game. I'm talking pre-game. In game, my God, please no. But before games, when it's just Booger, he can handle his own. It's just
on pre-game though, he stuck his foot in his mouth a couple of times this season.
But who hasn't though?
I mean, everybody.
He does it more, but people still do it.
Dude, that's weird. Seven, I was just going to mention that. Did you guys see the intervention on Romo? It's literally because Romo has so much money and he's a pro golfer at this point. He doesn't give a fuck about those CBS games, and it's fucking fantastic. He just flies in.
What's great
on that Kansas City broadcast he almost said the N-word.
Dude, he is six whiskey and fucking sours deep, bro.
Almost said
every time he does it.
He went to say Nickelbacks and
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He almost said N-word.
What that intervention is really about is he makes Joe Buck look bad. Because he's even 6 whiskey sours in, he can see a setup and know exactly what's going to happen and tell you before it happens.
He's more even 6 whiskey sours deep. He's more accurate than Joe Buck, but the problem is he's not preparing for fucking games.
He shows up on a helicopter 45 minutes before the game, drunk. His tie's undone and shit. But Buck's got to do it in the booth.
I got that man up here. They got that man up here almost saying the N-word up here on national TV. Come on,
I don't believe he was going to.
Come on now, yeah, it was. I put it in chat.
I don't think that's what he was going to say. I think he slipped up and was trying to say Nickelback.
He was finna say it. He was finna say it.
It's on the Tony train.
If there is a guy out there that I don't think, if there is a guy out there that I don't think is racist in the NFL, Tony Romo.
I'm not saying he's racist. I'm just saying he almost said it. I'm not saying that.
If you drop that in the middle of conversation, you got a little bit of KKK.
If you're dropping that.
Hold on. Okay, come on. Hold on, Will.
I can't prove that point, but he almost said it.
Listen, white guy to black guy. Romo says 3 N-words on that field.
That was one of them that day.
Okay. Let's ask the real question here. Romo says, talking football, 3 N-words on that field. Are you going to tell me that Romo is racist is not the topic of conversation?
I'm not saying he's racist because I don't know the man like that. That's the only reason why I'm saying
But
I don't know the man like that. But he almost said it. That's all I'm saying. I can't confirm or deny that he's racist. I don't know. But he almost.
I'm with Will. Kind of, because like, have you seen those dimples? That guy could say anything, and we'd be like, okay. I mean,
I agree. That's
Michelob Ultra and your jawline. I feel like it's right.
Yeah, that's the N-word right there. Yeah,
he's better than
Aikman. Good, Tony.
RDJ gets away with blackface. Tony Romo gets away with the N-word. At least we got some. Don Imus is pissed.
See, I couldn't get away with this in my day. How did he get away with it?
And he didn't even say the N-word. He just called some black chicks in a basketball school nappy-headed.
He said there's some nappy-headed hoes. He said there's some nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hoes. Sorry.
Yeah, nappy-headed hoes. That's what he said, quote unquote. That way we don't get in trouble. He wasn't
wrong. He's a little bit insensitive.
Listen, I'm not trying to get in trouble on FCC Airways, as Stephen A. might say. I'm not trying to do that. I never do that.
Don Imus. Good God.
Boy.
Good thing he's dead, huh? No, can we just appreciate 2 things about the conversation we just had? Number one being we literally talked about Patrick Mahomes is so good that we literally talked about the only thing that fucking separates that whole Super Bowl is his mindset.
Yep.
One player's. That's how good he is. That's why I put him in my top 5 GOAT of all time already, because he is that influential. If he just comes with the right fucking mindset, the Eagles have no fucking chance.
Well, and that ankle. And I think the DC is going to throw some different looks at Jalen, and Jalen's going to have to be ready to respond to those different looks that he sees. If he can navigate that, then Philly has a great chance. If he can't navigate what he sees, then no. Then
again, I just hope it is a really good game.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
And not a defensive game.
The 49ers were saying that they think the Kansas City defense can expose the passing offense of the Eagles.
They might.
They can. They absolutely can.
Yeah.
But can you stop the run? That's going to be the question. If Kansas City can stop the run against the Eagles, Kansas City will win that game. But if the Eagles get to run around, that's what the Eagles
You let Miles Sanders and Boston Scott run around down like a couple of danger mouses from back in the day. Yeah, it's going to be a tough day for Kansas City if they can't stop Miles Sanders.
If the Eagles have more than 150 yards of rushing, I would say more than 125 yards of rushing on Sunday.
Ball game.
That's going to be the difference maker.
Dunzo.
The number 2 thing I was going to say that we should appreciate about that conversation we just had is that all these famous athletes get divorced, and you always see like Tiger paid $256 million to Elon Nordegren. We're going to see a Tom Brady, the GOAT, one of the highest paid probably overall players in the history of the NFL, is going to get more money out of his divorce from his spouse than she is going to get from him.
He made $333 million playing, 340. I forgot 354 million over 10 years. 375 million with Fox. Good
Tom
Lord.
Brady was the less not the breadwinner in his past.
But there's no alimony. They had a prenup because he wanted to protect what was his.
Yeah, they had to have.
Wanted to protect what was
what I mean.
What I mean. Now here's my question: do you think she's getting child support?
No.
I don't think she is either.
She makes more than he does.
Yeah,
she makes more than he does.
Yeah, I don't think she is either.
That's basically what I meant by let's appreciate that.
That's a win for
he makes so much money.
That's a win everywhere. I mean, good Lord.
It's a lot of winning. Is what it is.
You make more money. There's no child support. There's no alimony. You just get off scot-free.
People are thinking Tom's depressed. Really? Really, I'm sure he's super depressed in his everyday life. I'm sure his life
he is
super
depressed, but not for money or any reason. And I fully believe, as someone who's going through it, he's also
in transition.
The kids thing sucks, man. Not getting to see
It
your
really
kids all the
sucks.
time sucks. It sucks. That's the worst part of it.
I can agree. It really sucks.
Not getting to see your kids on a regular basis sucks.
But the one thing I will say, everybody's on the East Coast now for Brady and the kids. Yeah, they're all in Florida now, so that makes it a little bit easier. So, yeah, he'll be all
But
right.
I will say, I understand being depressed just for the sheer fact of that. Because
your divorce is done. Oh yeah.
I mean,
but
can't go to Miami because Tua is not an injury risk.
But his depressed would be different than our depressed. You see his new girlfriend?
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's what I'm saying, Will. How depressed can he really be?
How depressed can he really be?
Did you guys see that Brady posted pictures of himself in his underwear this morning? Josie, what's your assessment?
I did not see it.
That's if Kale does the body good.
Hang on.
I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna find him. Josie gonna find him.
I'm looking right now.
Just look up Tom Brady banana hammock. It'll come right out.
Oh my god!
It's that first one.
But that man ain't depressed.
There's rumors that it's not circumcised. There's rumors.
That man ain't depressed at all. That man is in a good spot.
He's not Catholic, Tony. We don't know.
Is this the one of him sitting on the bed with his hand over it? Is that it?
Yep.
One that looks photoshopped because he looks too young.
Tom Brady self jockstrap.
All of a sudden, you're gonna hear Josie's cam gonna go out, and all you're gonna hear is.
No, that is.
I don't know how I feel about this. Let me turn my camera off real fast.
He is not my type at all. Not my type.
Yeah, Josie like him. Josie like him with some muscle on him. They gotta have a little bit of muscle.
I can't stand that man.
I think Josie likes him with some melanin in him. Will, you know what I'm saying? That's how Josie is. Hey, the skin that he's wearing, it contains melanin. Is the fountain of youth.
God.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him, Bears.
Josie and Dwayne Johnson. Let's go.
Oh God.
Yep.
No, Josie didn't have it because Dwayne's got bigger tits than she does.
Josie and our truth. Josie and our truth. Let's roll, baby. What's up? What's up?
I'm sorry. All of them fell in
rails.
comparison to my Nikita Lyons. Will.
Oh my goodness. You're right about that though. We need her to come back. We need her to come back quick.
9 months at least.
I know. I got Gigi to keep me happy though.
Oh, but Will, before we get out of here, Hall of Famer made a comeback or came back tonight. Lita got involved in the Bailey and
Lita. Exactly.
Bailey and Becky Lynch cage match.
I love me some Lita, boy. She one of them exotics, boy. Ooh,
the Edge and Lita storyline. Oh my
gosh! I mean, you
Edge and Lita
on Monday Night Raw, boy.
Live sex show.
Yes, sir.
That was
live sex show on national TV.
That was my number one search. Dial-up internet search.
And now they both talk about how much they hated that entire segment.
Can you blame them?
No, not at all. Not at all. I went back and watched it. It is cringe
hold on.
as a motherfucker.
Hold on. Did somebody say dial up?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, this is 60 kilobytes a second, Lita, right here. You're getting pictures in like 7 seconds.
Yes.
Whole picture. One JPEG image.
That net zero, baby.
See, mine was Tori Wilson and Stacy Keebler.
Hey, y'all remember them? Y'all remember those AOL discs that they used to sell at the gas station back in the day?
Yeah.
They still work.
Sell. You can get them for free.
Get it for free now. They still work.
When we could still key log our parents' password to the internet.
Yep. Well, if you had that you had that AOL, you had that net zero back in the day.
Couldn't use the phone at the same time though.
Oh yeah. All right, you guys. Anybody got anything else they want to go into before we roll out here for tonight?
Was there anything baseball-wise there, Seven?
No, I was just looking to make sure I missed it. I didn't miss anything. And
I did attempt to Stephen Weaver earlier. I tried to get the
Carlos
computer up, but I couldn't.
This was really the only thing. Carlos Correa will be skipping the World Baseball Classic because his wife is going to be having a baby soon, and Twins and Correa agreed that because her due date is the week that the Puerto Rican team starts playing.
Oh, that's what's up.
So
congratulations to him. Shout out to him.
Yeah, congratulations to Correa.
Back
so
on
the Puerto
real
Rican
quick,
games goes from having like 25 All-Stars to 24 All-Stars and somebody who's going to be an All-Star soon.
The Puerto Rican team and the DR team are the teams to beat. Like
that's like Canada
stacked.
ice hockey.
They are stacked.
Congratulations to him and his family, though. I hope you guys have a healthy and successful childbirth and nothing goes wrong. I know the Twins fans are happy that Correa is staying despite all of the issues.
Oh, yeah.
With the Correa thing, with him going back and forth with the other teams, this doctor that the Giants got, that the Mets ended up using the same fucking doctor, said that it was actually one of the worst, that Correa's ankle is one of the worst ankles he's ever seen. Doesn't know how he's still playing.
Shit.
That was some of the reports that are coming out about that. So that's why apparently the Mets and the Giants allegedly backed off. I think the Mets were trying to recover and save face from snatching him up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Giants got cold feet because they paid him a bunch of money and weren't paying attention. Because Scott Boras isn't stupid enough to not disclose stuff.
Yeah.
He's the agent that he is for a reason. So I still stand by the Giants got cold feet. But Correa is where he should be. I think the Twins is a much happier fit and a much more relaxed fit for him than the stress of being in New York or San Francisco.
Also talking about babies, Jason Kelsey said that his wife is bringing her OB to the Super Bowl because she will be 38 weeks pregnant.
I mean, that's a smart way to do it when you're that fucking rich.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're just going to bring your doctor to the Super Bowl. It's not that there's countless talented doctors in Arizona that are more than capable of handling the situation. No, we're going to spend all of the money that we have to give this doctor to spend the entire time we're out here.
He's also delivered their other two too. So
exactly.
I understand
the comfort of being rich people.
Carlos Correa's not playing the World Baseball Classic because of that ankle, bro. Conspiracy. There's no kid. She's not pregnant.
The wife is confirmed pregnant, and you call it conspiracy. Damn, man.
And on that note, I need to go to bed.
Let's get out of here, guys. If there's nothing else, for everybody to go over?
Red light.
Thank you all for coming through. We appreciate everybody checking us out here tonight on the Sports Report. For myself, for Dan, for Seven, and Josie, we see you guys again next week, right here Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. You guys have a great week. Take care.
Put on red light, Roxanne.
Still go, even when you feel slow.